Hi, everyone. I'm AJ, the creator, writer, director, and executive producer of Carbon Dating. I also voiced Death and the Fleas, and I played the executive producer AJ, Howie Squirts, Demo Nick, Madam Angina, Manny Scrubs, Candy with an Eye, Will Fondle, Radiates, Nick Devane, and Harry Piles. Mike.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike. I play Death. Oh my God. Hepatitis. I played...
Did you not write them down?
No.
You were supposed to.
The voices of the fleas. Pat is cock. Legionary hepatitis.
You already said that.
Cletus, did I already say it?
Nope.
There we go.
Ringmaster Willie dies.
Ringmaster Willie dies. And
Officer Neil Bloomy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Your favorite.
And way to do your homework, Mike. Next up
Because the camera's on.
is Keighla. Oh, and you forgot to mention that you're also the executive producer and...
And that.
And first assistant director.
And that.
Okay. Now Keighla.
Now we got it. I'm Keighla Dawn. I play the twins, Heavenly and Maya Buttreeks.
Clutch Rex.
Get wrecked. Karen On, Madam Beaver, Sue Shee, Abby Nagan, and Sister Wives.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just the 7 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And Minni.
I am Minni D'bomme. I was script supervisor. I also played,
That's how she was, too.
right?
Yep.
Princess Anita Mandalay, Princess Ivana Mandalay, Empress Dongula, Amanda Hurt,
Hunt.
and Hunt. Sorry, I wrote.
No, I guess Amanda Hurt would work too.
Yeah, actually that works.
Actually, yeah. And Betty Tokes.
And Chris.
Hi, Christopher Thrall. I was the second unit director for Carbon Dating. I played the Reverend Father Sawyer Killing, as well as Casquettes, the demonic Crispy Souls, as well as Shelby Naggin.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think so. I only had the 4.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were better than that.
Well, I was better than that in all of those roles.
Thor.
All right, I'm Thor Wildman. I don't have any credentials before I tell you my characters. So. Sorry if you're disappointed. So, who was I? I was Phil Graves, Prince, Filthy Rotten Crotch, Rich Bilker, Dr. E. Incisions, and Papa Woody.
Talon.
I am Talon Vexx. I was the lead makeup artist, and I played Rowenchin. I'm a hog and irritating brat.
Irritating.
Irritating.
I tried to
brat.
remind you.
Sorry. I have
Bitch,
the
go
memory
give
of a
me a
goldfish.
And
I won't
Austin.
kill you.
Hi, my name's Austin Strasbourg, and I was the voice of Rusty Pipes, the host of Carbon Dating.
Announcer. Death is the host.
Right,
Yeah,
announcer.
announcer. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
take my job. I mean,
And was the key word because, you know, he's dead now. So
Yeah.
we
We
had
killed
to
him.
kill him. We had to.
Well, I think most of these people are dead, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Princess sat on him.
Hey!
She tried using that rusty pipe.
Oh,
Well, what about
Sorry.
so wrong.
So
Busted door
I am
through
going
this
to be acting as somewhat of a moderator for today, for our supposed panel. And so with that, my first question is going to be, out of all the characters you played this season, which was your favorite or the most fun to play, and why? And I'm going to go last, I think. So I'm going to ask Mike first. Which was your favorite character to play, And
Favorites,
and why?
minus the outfits. That's my why. I'm going to do that first because I do my shit backwards. Is Death.
Yeah.
All the way. Because I don't have to do anything. Don't have to remember scripts. Just sit there and go, me, 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 me.
No, I'm the one who does the voicing. Right. I'm the one who does that. Yes.
I know, but you're playing in my head. Me, 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 me.
So well, we do get to boss you around though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your miming of death is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree that you don't do anything, Mike. I'm sorry.
No.
No, death is
I
super
just-
solid out there.
Someone reads the lines and I react like 2 minutes later. And somehow it comes together.
Well, we tried. There was one scene in episode, I think it was episode 3, where Papa Woody was getting arrested
Oh, God.
by Officer Neil and Blomey.
Uh-huh.
And I had to play death in that shot. And then we realized that in editing, that my body demeanor and my shape and just movements and stuff did not compare to the way that you portrayed
No,
death.
because Death doesn't talk with his hands.
So, so we realized that after that, we were going to have to keep you as Death and never have a stand-in for you. So that actually complicated things because there are scenes where you have to play Death and another character, and so we have to actually shoot both and splice it together because we can't
Just have
duplicate
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you would like that.
okay, let's move on. So you're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Keighla, who's your favorite character and why?
I think Sue Shee is my favorite character. She's just such a ditz, but she's fun and she's genuine and she's light and
But that could
just
also describe
bubbly.
Maya.
No, Maya's not genuine. Maya
Or
is
fun,
not
or
light.
light.
Maya's a ditz, but she's not fun and genuine. No. Sue Shee's just innocent and sweet and magical and survives everything.
What was your line? Tuna casserole?
Spicy
Tuna hand roll.
With seaweed.
Where in the hell did you get that from?
That one.
Oh, that was Chris's fault. I'm the one who added the seaweed, though.
Yeah.
I'm the one who added the seaweed.
Seaweed.
But, yeah, well, Sushi, she was definitely out there. I'm actually surprised that you said that, though. I would have expected probably Maya.
Oh, Maya's second, but no,
really?
Sushi takes it first
Oh, okay.
for me. Yeah.
It kind of seemed like she got to bring up more of your acting skills, too.
I wouldn't call that skills.
We're all new here still. Come on.
Okay, Minni, who is your favorite character to
Wow.
play?
And why?
Uh-huh.
It's a toss-up. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love Anita. Like, Anita speaks to me on so many levels. Reminds me of what I don't remember from my 20s.
Or 30s or 40s or 50s.
Well, that's different reasons. But Betty Chokes.
Ugh.
I know, she was so obnoxious.
She was so gross.
Yeah, she reminds me of my mom.
That's who you based her off
I
of.
know. My mother hates her. Absolutely hates her, but I think Betty's one of the ones I really, I like her a lot.
The 2 minutes
Well, you
of wheezing was so hard to get through.
Well, you caught me off guard with that one when we were starting to film, and because the first thing we do is the contestant tapes, and that's usually improv. So when Minnie sat down to play Betty, she didn't tell us that she was going to be wheezing. And it wasn't until I yelled action that the wheezing started. And at first we were like, is everything okay? And then we realized that was actually her
She was
character.
in character.
And then we said, okay, fine, but you got to keep that now
Yep.
all the way through. You
All the
can't
way through.
stop. So.
It was brutal. I don't regret it a minute of it. The look on your guys' face, from what I could see behind the lights, was just, it was priceless. It was exactly what I wanted to happen.
Is she still alive?
Who, Betty?
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
so.
we never killed her.
No, we
I
didn't.
don't think you killed her.
No, because he got paired up with Marion Monet instead.
That's right.
Yeah,
So, but I had the same reaction when I came out as Candy.
Yeah.
Right? That one traumatized everybody. But that was great.
that was a
I
crisis.
haven't recovered from that.
We never
Chris,
will.
Hi.
what was your favorite character to play this season?
I have a real fondness for 3/4 of the characters that I played this season. But definitely the favorite that stands out is Crispy. Crispy as the malicious and malevolent little antagonist to the faceless and trying to keep control of everything Death was just so much fun to do. We had several times on camera where Death and Crispy were sharing the scene.
Yeah.
And just playing off each other and using our physicality against each other was so much fun. I really had a blast as
You
Crispy.
had all of us in stitches when the two of you were
Yep.
just going at it.
Yeah.
It was fun to see Crispy's interactions with Maya though too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially when Maya kept trying to go around the curtain and kept getting tangled and dropping the contract and everything. And there you are, just sitting oblivious and just starting to laugh, as Crispy, not knowing what's going on behind you. But yeah, your interactions with Maya and with Death were all really great interactions with Crispy, I think.
Yeah, he's just a hoot to play, so I'm happy to have brought him to life.
Except you don't like the makeup.
The makeup is 3 hours in the chair, and I do have to say one thing directly to the camera and directly to Talon. Thank you for abs. They are magnificent. I know my physique is amazing as it is, but the abs were thanks to this amazing, talented artist. So, brava. Thank you.
So next Christmas we'll get you tattooed abs.
Yeah, that would be great. Or even like one of those dough pans that I could just prep.
But we'd have to bake you then.
Well, I can get baked.
I bake him all the time. I do his makeup.
Thor,
Yes.
who was your favorite character to play this season and why?
Well, I liked them all, just because they were so different from each other. But I think Dr. Incisions was just being the mad doctor.
The black surgeon,
Yeah,
black
yeah,
market
yeah.
physician, yeah.
And having the
Little
van
off the
around
top.
the corner. Yeah, little off the top.
I thought you'd go for Phil. Because
Filthy
Rotten Crotch was hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
No.
They were
Yeah,
all
you-
fun to play. That
Oh,
was the thing, right?
Well, you got me really good with Rotten Crotch, with that stupid hat there. Well, because I threw the money into the hat and I didn't expect the one bill to stay standing up, so I reached in and grabbed it and like, you son of a bitch, and then you just made me lose it, right? So you got me good on that one. But
Ian, good.
I did like Rich Bilker too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was pretty sleazy.
He was,
And we thank Ian for killing Karen.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, he killed the fleas too.
That's true.
That was sad. You murdered the fleas. We didn't care about the Karen. We just cared about the fleas.
Yeah.
So.
There's that.
Flea death is murder.
Talon, which one was your favorite character?
I gotta say, I'm a hog.
What?
It's fun to run around with a really large rifle and pretend to shoot people.
In the middle of the city.
Yeah, I didn't get shot by any cops, so I'm good. And I got to like ask people if they want a date. Hey, I got 4 responses saying yes, they did.
Well, and yeah, you're lucky that you didn't get shot because Stewart's attempts at calling the police to warn them we were doing it apparently fell flat on its face. So,
Yeah.
because Stu called the police to verify, to let
Yeah.
them know we were going to do the shoot, and he said, okay, it's all good to go and everything. And we were running late, so he called to extend the time that we were going to be doing the shoot, and the police didn't have it on record.
Oh my God.
So so she was running around with a big rifle in the middle of like public, but then again we could have had public nudity here too with
Yeah,
Cletus
that's
running
true.
around,
I had my
And-
big bush.
and
Yep.
the princess should have just been arrested. I don't know.
Yes.
But you're definitely lucky you didn't get shot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
That
I'm
was a
thankful for
great
that.
day.
It was.
I
What?
love running over the princess.
It was worth
awesome.
it.
That was
well,
hilarious.
and see, and this is
fun.
where I got to have some fun because I love to push the characters in ways that really take them out of the box, I guess. And so having the opportunity to have Cletus running around naked in public with the princess and Talon running around with a rifle. I'm like, just, all of these are just really funny elements that I can just play with. I mean, that's the same when I went after both Chris and Keighla, but we'll come to that later. So.
We'll come to that.
Oh, yeah. Austin, who is your favorite character to play?
I've only got the one, that's Rusty Pipes.
And your least favorite character.
He was your
Pipes.
least favorite.
Yeah, he was both.
Yeah.
Well, you did want me to kill him, so.
I mean, it was simultaneously fun to play, but also the tone I had took a toll on my voice. And it was starting to really, really start to hurt to do Rusty Pipes.
Well, I'm impressed because I don't hear Rusty in your voice right now, so well done. Well done.
Can you bring him up? After all these times.
No.
No.
Well, just say a common line like, hi,
dead.
hello, and welcome to Carbon Dating.
Hello, welcome to commentating.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty close.
Nice.
Well done.
Oh yeah, and I guess I have to answer mine.
Yeah.
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 Nice try.
Plug yours,
And
everyone.
no picking candy. Picture of candy pops up on the screen.
Oh yeah.
I've
Bent around.
it's tough because I played the most characters.
You have a lot.
Why did you really?
Yeah,
It's like this is your show
Well,
or
I
something.
played 10 and there's fun qualities I like about several of them. Madame Angina was a lot of fun to play. She was really eccentric, which got to take me out of my box. But so
You
was.
got into her box.
And you sold her box.
But you also liked Radiates too, right?
I just say things.
Because he was. Will Fondle's really arrogant, but in a funny
You like
way.
Fondo.
See, watching you, it looked like you had the most fun playing Will Fondle.
Will
To
Fondle.
be honest, it looked like you were just happiest.
Your little lesbian actress hairstyle. Love it.
I did. I did like Manny Scrubs because of his deadpan humor. I was really nervous though because when we filmed him, I thought I bombed the character really bad. Just because he was lacking any enthusiasm and any articulation and action and motion. He was just like literally, "Hi, I'm Manny Scrubs," right? And I thought by playing it so deadpan that I ruined the character. And I was terrified to look at the footage. But when I went back and I watched it and put it all together, I realized that that's actually what made the character so funny. And I would have to say he's probably up there. But I'm not gonna lie. Will Fondle is a very arrogant character, and he is eccentric too, and pretty funny in his arrogance. So it's a tough call. There's, yeah.
We only have an hour, honey.
Okay, what was your least favorite character to play, Mike?
Oh my God.
And why?
Yeah. Is it going to be Merkin based?
No, he created Cletus. That's his.
Pat his cock.
Mm.
Za.
And why?
Because I'm not in the best shape.
Oh.
It had nothing to do with the crusties all over his
Oh,
face.
no.
Or the sneeze heard around the world.
Right?
That was that lovely splat.
That was astonishing.
For those of you who haven't seen it yet, there's one clip where we had, what we had to do was we put a plastic sheet over the camera, and we took a pressure bottle and filled it with milk. And we had Mike sitting there. Of course, he had dried cum splats all over his face. And he did this sneeze. And as he sneezed, we sprayed the camera with this high pressure milk splat. And then all you hear him go is like, "Oh, thank God I was so full." Right? It's really gross. Gross. But he was fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything to do with the casts or the 3 hours we took making them.
Oh, and the thong.
And the
I've never worn a thong before. Oh my God.
Yes, you have. You have his death.
The tiger print
But
thong.
it wasn't right up my ass.
Oh, you were wearing it backwards. That was the
Oh,
problem.
That's why there's nothing covering the front.
That's right.
Well, I already know what the answer to this one's going to be, but Keighla, who is your least favorite character?
I was Karen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mainly because she was just so challenging for me to play. She was one of the first characters I ever did. So super nervous on camera. Didn't really know how to get into the character, but she's also such a bitch.
Was she actually
So
your first
you-
character?
You played it well.
Yes, I think Karen was my first.
Yeah.
Madame Beaver was my second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, Madame Beaver you did pretty good with.
Speaking roles. I did do Heavenly Maya first,
Oh, right,
but they
right.
were non-speaking at
Yeah.
that time. So yeah, no, Karen was.
Only a real Karen
Yeah.
could do a Karen part
Oh.
properly,
Yeah, I think so.
right?
No, and so
So-
she stretched for it, but it wasn't a fun character to play either. So
Well, that's the thing is sometimes there's on paper it might look good, but when the time comes to actually, assign the character and stuff, sometimes it just doesn't work out for whatever reason.
So you should blame the writer.
Okay, yes. It's
But-
AJ's fault. I hate
Yeah.
Karen because of AJ.
That's fair.
But thankfully, he did let me kill her. So we killed her, and that was a joyous moment.
That was pretty funny though, because
Beautiful.
Thor didn't expect to spill that much water on him.
Acid.
Acid.
Yeah, well, because you said that you were just going to pour just a little
Yeah,
bit.
it was only supposed to be a little.
Half an hour later, drenched.
It's like, oh, is it all out yet?
I forget where you were. Oh,
A wet T-shirt
I
contest.
had white
Oh,
pants
yeah.
on too.
White
so-
pants.
Wet crotch contest.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
Second.
Yeah, there was no second take on that one, so it was one douse, and I got the scream out, and
Oh yeah,
And we
well,
killed
and it
Karen.
turned out well. The scream was pretty authentic, but I think it's because of how cold the water must have been. Minnie, who is your least favorite character in life?
Surprisingly, Empress Dongula.
Oh,
really,
okay.
But just because it was such a struggle to find her.
Mm.
Because
Well-
she didn't translate well for me. Because I always thought she was yelly.
Well,
It doesn't show up that way, but I always thought she was just yelly. Not angry yelly, just yelly.
Well, Empress Ongula wasn't. I think that's the only character that I didn't create for the show.
No.
Empress Ongula actually existed outside the show.
Yeah.
And we decided to try to bring her in to incorporate her.
Yeah.
And we did try to play with a couple of concepts, like making her a B-movie star and stuff
Yes.
like that, just to kind of try to mesh her into
Yeah,
the show
give
a
her
little
some
bit
more
better.
depth.
But yeah, she didn't quite fit as well as we thought she would have.
No, which makes me really sad because the character itself is a great idea. I just
And she looked great.
Oh
Didn't
yeah.
she?
Yeah.
I haven't had eyebrows that good in years. But yeah, no, it was. I think it was just because of the struggle of finding her.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe with time, you know.
Yeah, time.
And it
throw
really pushed up your.
right.
Yep.
The girls.
So all
My
you
chest-
young
my chest
fellas
was
out there,
here.
Yep.
you got to check out that episode for that.
Yeah, 'cause there
I think
wasn't
there's
much else
two.
to
I
see.
think she has 2 episodes.
Yes,
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the big dong energy.
Well, she has dozens of fans. Chris,
Hi.
who is your least favorite and why?
Well, because of the exposure that I enjoyed so much as the character, it's definitely going to be Shelby negging.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly enough, it was really just the costume was really uncomfortable. I know your G-string woes now, so.
I would have
But
thought it was caskets.
no, I really enjoyed Caskets. He was
Really?
he was my first one. He was
He was your very
Yeah.
first, yeah.
And I was so nervous with him, but I really played that up, and I think I really enjoyed having that sort of nervous, shrill, freaky kind of nature.
Yeah, you were
for
just
him.
weird.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that part, but Shelby, Keighla and I worked hard to find Abby and Shelby.
You guys did
before
a
that.
really good job.
But that's not what we developed. Like, we developed up sort of a waspy little snide, snarky together thing going. But as soon as that outfit was on, and as soon as the leash was on, and as soon as the camera started
It was
rolling,
around.
Oh, she dominated.
oh, I was such a sub, and it just went right down, and so yeah, it was a hard role to get into. I felt super exposed. So again, about the physique, everyone. But
We've all seen a
You
little bit
have
too
on
much
that
with
one,
him.
too.
I think so. Yeah, and the full moon rising, it was
Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing, because like I said, you know, when we write, or when I write or create the characters, you know, on paper, sometimes they come across looking, you know, really strong and really funny, and sometimes they end up being duds, which we don't expect. And then other times, you know, there's characters that I feel might not be very strong, and they turn out to really surprise us, right? And I had actually considered canceling episode 10 because of, well, me playing the gay porn star and Mike playing the fluffer and then having the polyamorous couple.
It was not pretty.
And, well, but my thought was, like, I mean, even though I knew I knew that the whole concept for the episode fit with the cougar, I just felt that we weren't going to capture the essence of the characters, and I felt that it was probably going to be our weakest episode. And it actually turned out to be one of our strongest. You know, for not arc-based episodes,
No.
but just individual episodes. You know, all the characters turned out great, but to your point, is that we don't really, you know, where we tend to have ideas of how our characters are going to develop, and, you know, sometimes we come up with ideas and we kind of have it. But until we get into costume and into character, we don't really 100% know because sometimes the characters take us in different directions that we didn't even expect when we were even thinking about getting into it, right?
Well, I think there was also something really, really interesting about all of us being on set because with the way we started, we all shot individually and everything like that. But by episode 10, we have really started hitting our stride and started getting our cues playing off each other, and then all four of us on set at the same time. It felt like we were really bringing something to the table that was pretty good. And seeing the different looks when you watch the episode, seeing the looks that we share with each other, or the gesture or the slaps that Keighla gives me, stuff like this, it really plays off.
So.
Or the two of them rolling around on the ground. Like, it really all played together great. And so I will say, yes, episode 10 was a lot of fun to watch, but it was definitely one of my least favorite characters to play.
Well, that was the other interesting thing too. Is like when we started the first 4 episodes, we had to shoot everything separately.
Yep.
So you
And
can
we're
see,
actually all in the same room.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
you know, but at the time when we had like the 3 contestant chairs, we could only film one person at a time, and then we film the next person, and then the next person, and layer the footage. So we couldn't interact with each other. We didn't have each other to play off of. And that's where the script supervisor especially came in, which was really important because they would give us our cues, but we had no one to interact with. It was just a plain empty set. So it made it difficult to memorize your lines because you have nobody to play off of, right? And once we started to get into the later episodes when we could start dropping those restrictions so we could actually start interacting, I was having a lot of fun, right? I mean, I loved when Candy and Maya got into that scrap on the set there, and they're just, beating each other up. Like, that was funny, And same when we started making out right in front of the polyamorous couple, and there they are reacting to us rolling around on the floor, making weird, god-awful noises, But, so I think that also helps with the development of the character too, is being able to actually interact with each other, whereas we didn't have that, right? And I think that played a huge effect on the first 4 episodes with us not only not having any experience working with each other, right, and knowing where our limits were and what our boundaries were and how far we could go off of each other, but also the fact that we didn't have the ability to work with each other, right? I think,
and you were still defining carbon dating at that point too. Like the first 4 episodes are really baby steps into what this is growing
well, they
into.
were all shot at the same time,
Yeah.
right? So we didn't know how any of the episodes were going to turn out until all 4 came out together, and then from there we tried to tweak it. We made changes and stuff, but. Thor, you're next, right?
Yeah, I'm next.
Okay, who is your least favorite character in life?
I gotta say Prince Filthy Rotten.
Darn!
Because
he got raped in the end.
It's time to get filled.
Actually, that was one of my favorite moments, especially watching it back afterwards. It was pretty entertaining. But I really struggled finding his voice and his backstory and his character, and
at the
and
start
we
it
went
was
through a
real tough.
lot of stuff trying to flesh him out.
That's right. We actually did do a lot of takes in the contestant tape for that
The
one.
beginning. Yeah.
So I mean, he was fun to play when we kind of got him going, but it was for me.
It took a while.
Yeah,
It took a long time.
it was
A
the
long
most
day.
effort that I had to put in to find.
I
him.
remember one of the jokes that we came up with. I remember like we were struggling. We were trying really hard to come up with jokes, and then I had this thought because you were talking about horses, and
As he normally does.
and I ended up remembering those really sappy SPCA Christmas commercials. Like please donate for pets in need and blah blah blah, and which by the way, it's a good cause. I totally support that.
Yep.
But it was that thought in my mind that made me think, well, what about if his horses were starving, right?
Yes.
And so I was like, you got to do the whole, like, please give me money, my horses are starving, and I've already had to put one down, and I'm tired of eating horse meat. That cracked me up when we did that. But I guess he was pretty hard to come up with.
Yeah. There were lots of good moments in it, but it was just
He was a struggle to
The
find.
starts, yeah.
Talon, who was your least favorite?
Actually, it was Roentgen.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say the makeup artist.
Yeah, she had to spend all those hours working on Chris.
Well, hey.
Oh.
I
And
thought
she
they'd
didn't
let
even
you
get
leave.
paid.
So why didn't you
up in
like?
there for hours?
Why didn't you like Ro?
Well, besides her being like the complete, like epitome of toxic business lady,
Yo.
her entire demeanor and everything is how I normally am when I'm uncomfortable anyway. So it was really not that much of a stretch.
She was your first character you've ever played.
No.
No, she
No,
played
I'm
Emma
not.
first.
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You play Emma first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I have?
Well, she chased.
No, well, I'm a hog was the one where she fought with the princess.
That's right.
in
Yes.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Right.
she
Okay.
had the
I've never watched the show.
the contestant tape
Yeah, that's
as well. We did
Yeah.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but you were so buttoned up and so tight as Ro, I could tell you were pretty uncomfortable.
But yeah, because
Yeah.
that was the first time that you actually were in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Understandable.
So
And you had to like radiate.
yeah. Honestly, having a crush on a guy that his face is melting is really not the epitome of my
And all of
dreams and
his
aspirations
puns.
of partner.
oh my
Oh
yeah,
my
my
god,
I
so
hear
many
you.
puns.
Especially when you had to goop him first.
Yeah. That's,
He wants to play with my control rod, ladies.
yeah, there's definitely there's a special place in my heart and my stomach for that.
Nice.
And
Hairball.
I think we answered that in the last one.
yeah, your least favorite character was also Rusty because you
had
had
more to do.
you had to talk. Yeah, so got it. Yeah.
The throat.
Okay. Oh, and I guess for me, who was my least favorite? That one would be hands down Harry Piles. I feel that he did not land at all.
What did he do again?
He was the roadkill collector.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought that I had a really strong character there. I thought the concept was really funny for him, but that was one of those examples of where it just did not translate on paper, from paper to actual production very well. Either that or maybe somebody else could have found the character better, but then again, he was also my first character.
Could be.
I think
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was my
you
first
did
character.
You did Harry first.
Yeah, and then I did Manny. And it was funny because I thought that I bombed Manny and did good at Harry when it turned out to be the other way around, right? So that's where I said again, perception can be really, really surprising. So.
Making the squirrel for Harry was fun though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well I mean
Yes, it
there was a
was.
process for that.
Yeah.
I mean we cut out the pelt,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Bloodied it up.
well no first we
Red.
took it outside and we painted
drove over
black.
it?
We took black acrylic paint.
Yeah.
And painted Minnie's tire.
Yep.
And then we backed over it with the tire and then ran over it like a good 3 or 4 times to make sure that the tread mark was on the squirrel. And then you bloodied it up.
Yeah.
Right.
It was glorious.
And that was after Minnie ran over the bird?
No, that was before I hit the bird.
Okay.
Oh wait.
No, that was no, you hit the birds first.
Yeah, I did hit the
No,
bird
no
first.
animals were harmed in the creation of carbon dating.
Well, the bird was flattened, but
But that wasn't carbon
And-
dating.
no, that had nothing to do with it.
That was a different project.
That just made you being maniacal.
That's true.
No. I would never
Empress
do that.
Dongula being maniacal.
There you go.
Who is your favorite character?
Of all.
And not your own.
Well, preferably not your own, but if it is, it's understandable. Just try not to be biased.
So we can't all pile on death?
Well, that comes later. That's after we finish rolling.
If you want it to be Death, I mean, it's understandable. He was a very good. He's the lead of the show, right?
Okay, so to be proper, I'm going to say probably Crispy. Because I always love the fact that Chris had to go into the Southern Belle to find him.
It wasn't Southern Belle. That was Sawyer.
That was Sawyer.
It was
Oh, okay.
Beetlejuice was crispy.
Okay, yeah. But
Bleep! You didn't hear that, no.
Is that right? Oh, some other character was crispy.
But for myself, I would have to say El Placebo.
Nice.
You like El Placebo?
Yeah.
Dogs! Dogs! Why?
Because it was fun getting into the fat suit, so it wasn't me. It was the character that I actually thought wasn't me. Because I didn't
so you
look like him.
You felt you actually got into the
I
character.
felt like it was somebody else. Like really somebody else.
Okay.
I just liked when you
Minus my skinny arms.
when you were having your little narcoleptic fits, right? When you're like, oh, I want more, right? The way you're freaking out was just really funny.
Well, I do that all the time when we have a conversation.
True. Yeah. Keighla, who is your favorite character of all?
There's a couple fun ones, but it's a toss-up between Death and Crispy for me.
Death and Crispy?
Yeah, Crispy because, again, he's
Love
hilarious. But Death because Mike just does such a good job emoting through the character, and Death's a little bit of a sadistic bastard, but he's so charming about it.
Well, and that's the funny thing is because everybody mocks me when I'm writing for Death because I'll say, Death looks sad. Death looks angry. Death looks happy, right? And everybody's like, how the hell can Death, look something when you can't see him, right? But Mike actually finds a way to actually emote the character in that way. And that's why I just describe it like that in the thing.
Through a blanket.
Yeah, particularly the scenes with like hankies and crying.
Those are funny.
And the
Those are
popcorn.
funny. Yeah, when it's like, Death, you got a piece of popcorn stuck to your chin.
I love my sign.
Yes.
Obviously, I cannot eat popcorn and swiggle a sign.
That was cute, yeah, because then every time you'd take a mouthful, then you'd try to catch up.
Oh yeah, I was doing something.
That was pretty cute.
It looked great.
But the Christmas hanky.
Yes.
That one had all of us in stitches behind the camera. We were all just busting a gut laughing over that. You were. I'm really glad that we made the decision to get you the hanky. So, Minni, who's your overall favorite character?
Sue Shee.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to pick her up and put her in my pocket. Take her home. She's cute and ditzy and the puns.
And you just want to pat her on the
I
head.
do. It's just like cute little Sue Shee.
And play with all her little skeletons that
Right?
she had dangling on her. Oh my god.
My babies.
Oh yeah. Oh, those were fun to make. Those
Oh my
little
God.
those little skeletal mermaids.
Yeah.
I actually cut a lock of Sue Shee's hair off and glued it to one of the mermaids so it actually had hair.
The same hair.
Yeah. Chris, who's your favorite?
You know what? I'm
It's
gonna,
Candy, isn't it? I know
I'm
it.
going to
It's
back
Candy.
you up, Minnie, and I'm going to say Sushi. Sushi and Death. I've always enjoyed it. I share with Death.
Whatever, screw you.
But no, Sushi I really enjoyed. I love that she's bilingual and she started speaking dolphin.
It wasn't just bilingual. She was speaking clam. And she was speaking, what else? You had starfish, I think, was one of the ones
I
that
can't
you were.
remember
Yeah,
anymore.
you were listing off a bunch
Yeah.
that you spoke.
It was just so much fun.
And then you
I'm-
started it's like,
watching Keighla sort of imbue that character and just have more and more fun, pushing it farther and farther and making it more and more ridiculous was just a hoot.
well, in the
So-
blooper reel, you called her the Lake Bimbo.
Yeah. Well, and shooting through all the fog and stuff, like it was a challenging shoot to do that
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
And just watching.
Shoot her in the face! Shoot her in the face!
Yes.
I mean, my stupid teeth kept falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sushi was a hoot to watch. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she played her really, really well. So, Thor, what about you? Who is your overall favorite character?
Well, there was like lots of good characters. So, but I think probably the princesses.
Right. The triplets.
Nice.
Triplets.
You
Well,
like
I didn't deal with the right with just Minnie's characters. That
Princess Anita and Ivana.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they were. I mean,
You liked getting filmed, didn't you?
they were very entertaining.
And they were so fully realized.
Yeah.
Dedicated minutes to her.
Well, what was it like? Harvey Korman once said, something about how any real good character is always truly a part of you.
Yep.
Talon, what about you? What's your favorite character overall?
I kind of really enjoyed.
Since you kind of made most of them.
That's true.
Yes.
You like who?
Ringmaster really.
Yeah!
And the fleas.
Yep. And
I
his
love
fleas.
you.
I
Mustache.
absolutely adore him, and that mustache is so much fun. And I can just imagine all the little fleas
Yep.
just like jumping all over.
His homicidal flea.
I loved when you knocked the plant over with your
Oh,
mustache.
yeah.
That was
Great.
funny.
Yep.
That was funny.
Good call.
Austin, who is your favorite character?
I gotta say Prince Filthy Rottengrot.
He's also pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Even in the shots that didn't end up being the final shoot, they were hilarious. Even when he was still trying to figure it out, it was just great.
Well, your accent and the way that you were portraying him was so pitiful. It was really, really funny.
And you.
How about you? You wrote them all.
Come on, big guy.
Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
there's 50 different characters that I created.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
And he
moe.
played all of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
just about.
At some point.
We were finger puppets.
Oh, that's a hard one. I would have to say
You better be mine.
that my favorite overall character is Death.
Yay!
It's got to be.
I would have to say, and it's. I mean, apart from his acting, which is spot on with the character,
Not there.
it's because he has the greatest journey, I think, and it's starting to become realized, right? So, I mean, in the opening credits, he accidentally kills Heavenly, which eventually gets revealed was his first and only ever true love.
I'm a virgin.
And
Touched for the.
to have, you know, for him for it to be revealed that he loved her and that he was actually responsible for killing her is something that he has to, for lack of a better term, live with. And it's painful for him, right? And then to have her reappear at the end, just to have her taken away again, and it's his own fault, right? He signed the contract, which gave Crispy the ability to take her, and then he condemns her to an eternity of hell, right? So he not only killed her, but he condemned her, and he loved her both, like, right? So he has a very tragic role. And then, of course, Prince Filthy Rottencrotch ate his horse.
Yeah.
Winky. You know, I really wanted to show how Death is sinking, right? And by the time we get to the finale, right, in the two-parter, before the finale, we see how he's hurting, right? And how he feels alone and lonely, and he's sad, and he's guilty, and you know, he has all these range of sad emotions. And then by the time that the two-parter ends and Crispy has captured Heavenly, Death has lost her a second time, it's his fault. Now he's angry, and he's bitter, and you know, and his attitude shifts. And whereas he went from being like a simple little wimp who was cute and charming with a slightly sadistic side, now he's becoming really angry and aggressive, and he's his whole personality is going to be changing. And we're going to see, you know, if we do a season 2, how that's going to sink to an even darker level. But I think it has to be Death, not just because of the fact that he's a funny and pitiful character, but because he's also got the greatest range of development, right? Not to say that Maya isn't up there too. I mean, Maya definitely...
I don't like Maya, she sucks. I mean, Death doesn't like Maya.
Maya definitely has... I mean, being able to explore Maya's character too is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because those are the two that I've been able to really explore and take further. But Death, I think with him being the one driving the story, and it's a very tragic story, and I've got a lot more in store for him, I'd have to say he's my overall favorite. He's just absolutely adorable and charming.
So since you brought that up, are we allowed to ask you, did you hear anything about a season 2 coming?
Well, I
They
believe,
say
as it said in the show, Death is going to be the last to know. Right? We're in talks for a season 2.
What studio? No, just kidding.
Wow.
If we do a season 2, we are going to further the Maya, Crispy, Death, Heavenly plot lines, but that's pretty much all I can say about that.
So I have to work with this guy again?
Sorry.
We each have our bears to shoulder.
Let's mix it up a little bit. I've got more questions, but I can ask a little bit later.
Don't ask me. Go somebody else.
Mike, do you have a question you'd like to ask?
How did you like working with all of these nut jobs?
Nice way of putting it.
Was it your first time for most?
Yeah, I mean, we had started another project which we had to stop because of the pandemic, and that kiboshed our other project. So carbon dating was born out of the ashes of that, I guess you could say, which is why the first 4 episodes were a little rough because we had started right at the beginning of the pandemic. So we had a lot of restrictions to do. But for completing our first project, yes, this would have been my first time working with all of you. And it was interesting because everybody brings their own qualities. And some are very quickly identified and others take a while to kind of reveal themselves. And like this guy here, he plays great nut job roles.
But it really took a long time to kind of elicit that kind of stuff out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a subtle, deep, and complicated character.
Method.
All surface.
I mean, and that was the thing. I mean, to begin with, it was a little difficult because I didn't know anybody's strengths. I didn't know anybody's weaknesses. And again, we were working under like next to impossible conditions, you know, not being able to memorize our lines, not being able to work with other characters or other actors and stuff.
Masking regulations,
occupancy
regulations.
Right.
You had concepts for characters, and then sort of, okay, let's see
Yeah,
what
it's like,
happens.
okay, well, you know, I think, you know, like, for example, when it came to Sawyer, it's like, okay, well, Chris, I know, like to play the whack job roles, so it's like, okay, I think you'll do great as Caskets, I think you'll do great as Sawyer, I think you'll do great as Crispy. And, no, I'm not going to say Keighla I thought was great at the ditzy roles. No.
That's why you kept putting her in them.
Yep.
No,
Someone has to take one for the team.
Yeah, ditses and bitches.
Well, Keighla, I had a suspicion that she was going to be good with the stronger and more elaborate roles. And unfortunately, you know, some of them turned out to be ditzy roles. But you were also a very attractive individual, so I wanted to make sure that, again, the roles suited the character, right? So that's why it's like Prize Girl, right? You know, but I mean, then again, even though the concept for Maya was originally ditzy, I mean, she developed way past that.
Stalker.
All of a sudden.
But my feelings for you were that you had the stronger, I don't want to say aggressive, but very dominant personality type. And so I wanted to make sure that your characters were stronger and suited in that sense. That's why you got the Karen, right?
And Minnie's roles were always a hot mess.
Yep.
Yeah, they really were. Yeah. Thor,
Mini strength. Especially
Thor, I thought was good with the sleazy roles.
That's fair. Yeah.
The Candy was kind of born out of the fact that the reason I ended up playing her was because we were
Nobody else wanted to.
No.
When they saw that outfit and the hair,
No, well,
they were like, no.
You look better in stockings.
We only had 3 female actresses, right? We needed 4 males and 4 females, but we only had 3 for the females. And so I knew we were going to need, somebody was going to have to bite the bullet. And I was like, okay, well, it might as well be me, right? So I'm like, I'm not going to make somebody do something that I'm not willing to do myself.
That's
right?
fair.
That's the way I look at it. So it's like, okay, if I have to do drag first, then I can force it on other people. So when I created Candy to fill the role, I knew that it was going to have to be me, but I also knew I could push it to an extreme, and I had no qualms about it, because it's the same with like Radiates or any of the characters. Like for Radiates, I shaved my head, and then we glued chunks of my hair back onto my head after shaving it. The way I see it is like my body's a tool, and I'll just use it to its full extreme.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
We were all thinking it, sorry.
I didn't say it.
We're just
You're the
being
one that brought
polite.
up
So
Cameras.
and for me, my biggest strength is the fact that I think that I don't have any inhibitions about what character I'll play, and I don't mind going to the full extreme of a full makeover in order to do it. I know you won't shave your love.
No,
Molest
this
action.
goatee takes like frickin' months to come back. So.
Right.
It
So
also takes freaking months to glue down.
Yeah, but that's the makeup artist's problem.
so I mean
It was
everybody.
easier drawing the abs on.
So everybody has a strength,
Yeah.
and that's where I try to target the characters for. So
What's Mike's strength?
Take your time.
Yeah,
Take your
let's
time.
go with that. Mike is a great mimer. No, actually,
No, you don't have to say it.
I know Mike's strength. He's
Just
willing
because
to
you
do...
touched it once doesn't mean leave my balls out of this.
No, that was me.
No, that was
willing to
Talon's
do whatever
strength
the
was when she
director
was.
wants him to do, including running from a door that's like you're not allowed to go in to his car, wearing basically a crotch wig.
So I do what I'm told.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a great strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. no, I
Especially
just-
when you want to complain. And say, I would rather be wearing pants.
Yep.
I did. I tried. And then half an hour later, oh no, you're gonna be in nothing.
Well, I don't see why you're complaining. You're the one who got to shove your fingers up his ass when you were trying to glue down the hair.
That was completely by accident. I was not
She wasn't
expecting it to be that
complaining.
open.
Neither was Minnie when he nutted her by
Oh my
accident.
God.
TMI.
So for the Triple X blooper reel, please send $19.99.
Keighla, do you have a question you'd like to ask?
Sure. So,
You want to stick your finger up my ass?
Maya would want to.
As you might
A new
know.
finger puppet.
Didn't you say that already?
yeah. Okay. So,
Way to
if
follow that, right?
opening it up to the group, if you could play a different character other than one of your own, what character would it be and why?
Chris would play Candy.
I'd play her differently.
I've been around the dumpster. Couldn't get on the dumpster.
Okay, well, you want me to answer that one first then?
Sure,
We'll
go
just
ahead.
go, keep going the line then. So if I could play a different character, which character would I play? Not one of mine, of course.
Oh wow.
You know what? I think El Placebo might be fun.
No.
I ain't doing Cletus.
Mine.
No, I think El Placebo would be a fun one to play. I don't know if I could do any better than Mike did.
Probably not.
Probably not. He's got that whole sleeping right through it down to a T, But I suspect he would be a lot of fun to get into character for.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember everybody laughing at you when you were trying to get into that suit. All we could hear from
Always.
like 2 floors away is ah!
It was glorious.
I didn't realize how hard it was to put on shoes.
Right?
Or even get your pants done up.
Or that.
But that's a common everyday problem.
hilarious.
So, Mike, who would you play?
Oh my god. For shits and giggles, the
Maya.
princess.
Mike and the
Oh,
I would
princess.
love to see that.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah, so would I.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be glorious.
I'd be like the third cousin.
Well, if we ever do an alternate reality,
Oh, there we
You
go.
could be my
episode.
younger half sister's brother twin.
The
Yeah.
better looking one.
Yes.
The adopted quadruplet.
Yes.
Or the child of the prince and the
Oh, and
princess.
Yvonne.
Can I use your blonde hair, the lesbian cut? I get a little tiara.
Keighla, who would you play?
Just because it'd be fun to be that outrageous, it'd be Crispy. Yep.
I think you'd make a great Crispy.
Yeah.
I think we will at
Crispy
least
lips.
give you like a bikini top.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I want abs on her too.
Oh, no,
she's
she
coming
didn't.
down.
She's
But
Yeah, you have to paint.
She
you have
has
to paint
abs.
it like that.
She'll have an 8-pack.
Chris, how about you?
You know, just because he's one of the only characters that I thought was more ridiculous than the ones that I played, I would like to give a try to Radiates.
No.
So yeah, we
Yep.
can shave your head.
Yeah, there we go.
Done.
No, but the more time in the makeup chair and everything like that, but just like the puns he went through and the dripping and removing the tongue, and like it just
yeah.
there was
Yay,
so
more
much
puns.
more kind of physical comedy to him that I haven't really tried much.
The only thing I didn't like about him was being stuck to the chair with the
Yeah,
hose
oh, well,
with
yeah,
that,
with the
'cause
hose
That,
down.
that was
That makes
really
sense.
restrictive.
It would really restrict your motion. and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, because I wanted to like go all out with
Of
him, but I
course.
couldn't because I was like literally tied to
Yeah.
the chair, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe we'd figure out how to do that a little differently. But if
Yeah.
I were to do him, that's because he was one of
Shove
the
the
ones that's
holes-
more
We
ridiculous.
take
Shove the
hose
hole
to
somewhere
you.
else.
Yeah, shove the.
I did love
take the
wiping the
hose to you.
splooge on the stage
Yeah,
pan,
that was great.
and then you hear the sizzling on her back, and you see the steam coming out. She goes running across the set. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed Ray and shooting in one of the foggy sets and stuff like that. Like you did do something really radically different with that
You like
episode,
your
so-
fog, don't you?
I do.
Well, and that was
It's such a challenge to work with.
When you guys have sex, is there always fog?
Always.
that was the interesting thing too, was that like I wanted to experiment because I wanted to be able to take us out of our regular, structure or format that we had, and I figured if we have themed episodes as well, right? Not just like story-based themes,
Right.
but also visually based themes. That if we can really experiment and nail it, then we can always experiment with more down the road.
Yep.
Like maybe an underwater submarine that's like sinking or something, like just more concepts to play with. So, what about you, Thor? Who would you play?
That's a tough question. But I think
Because he doesn't know.
well,
He doesn't
but,
remember all of them.
but Candy would be interesting.
You got him.
Yes.
You would take on the candy.
That would, yeah.
All right.
But that was, cause I like the way you played.
And keep your beard.
It would
Yes.
I don't know what possessed me, but I'm like, okay, she just totally has to be twitchy,
Yeah. yeah.
And then those
Awesome.
those meth teeth were gross
Oh,
to wear.
Mhm.
Talon, who would you play?
I was trying to pass it off on him and saying that he doesn't remember all the characters. But I'm a goldfish. I don't remember who there was. I just put them together.
Yep. I just painted them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that was it.
Made him up and sent him on their way.
Yeah.
Austin, would you play anybody, or would you just stay out of it?
I'm not one for being on camera, so I'd probably stay out of it or do a different voice character.
So just to let you know, you're doing a really bad job at the moment.
Yeah.
You're on camera. Hey, camera.
He
Well, I
did
mean,
the
I
great
know.
Willie Dies.
Oh, Minnie, I think I forgot you, didn't I?
did.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
Yeah, sure.
She's just so
Save-
forgettable in her character.
Save the best for last.
Yeah.
Who would you?
I'm actually surprised she could see over the table. Did we give her a booster seat?
I'm sitting on my knees, mostly standing.
There's a couple.
Who
votes.
would you play?
Actually, Marion Monet.
Nice.
I forgot that one.
Black Widow, yeah.
Like she's.
She was a long time ago.
She was fun.
I did. I
She
really
was.
like the concept. I like how she was played, but I'd like to take that on. Just be a little more of the crazy ex-wife.
How's
So
that
nothing
different
right.
from? Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else suckered in and married me, so I'm not
Um,
technically an ex-wife.
Was it your turn? No. Whose turn is it to ask a question now?
Mike asked. So
Mike's
he's
asked.
not-
She
It'd
did.
be Minnie.
Oh, Minnie's turn.
Oh,
You can
my
ask.
turn.
The.
The girl.
This is how she reads scripts. No.
Not quite. If there was a character we could bring back, a one-off character that we could bring back, who would each of you pick?
So for
is that
all
one
the-
off like a dead character or just any character in general?
Just any character that's not actually reoccurring.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have to say I would want to bring back Marion Monet.
Yeah.
I think she has a lot of potential.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be my say, because I could easily, because her character is basically, she's killed what I think we decided like 19 prior.
Something's, yeah.
She was getting a cease and
Okay.
desist from the insurance company
Companies,
because
yeah.
she was rich from all the people she was killing.
Mhm.
I think we would have the potential to bring in either, like her husband or ex-husband or somebody that she failed to kill. Or
Yeah.
I think she has a lot of potential to play with, and that's why I'd go with her.
And
Yeah.
maybe Officer Neil and Blomey as being one of the potential matchups or something like that. He's trying to lay a trap for her or something. Yeah, no, I can totally see it.
No.
Yeah.
How about you?
Who'd you bring it?
Who would I bring back? Ringmaster Willie Dax. Not because I played him, because he was so cute.
I did love that joint. Well, all you could see was the tip of your nose. Right? Everything else was hidden.
And I painted it red.
Yeah.
Yep.
I looked wino.
Did.
What about you, Keighla?
See, I'd love Sue Shee, but I don't know if there's a place for her to come back. So in that case, I'd probably second Marion Monet.
No, you liked her too?
Yeah, I do think there's potential for her.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Kashi, who played her, did a really, really good job
Yeah.
playing that character.
Or Mistress Mona lot.
Oh, yeah.
I did enjoy Mistress Moon a lot.
Well, and there's a lot of potential for her too because of with her having so many different versions in her organization. It doesn't have to be just the same actress playing her. It can literally be anybody.
As long as they fit the costume.
Yeah. Minnie?
Including Mike.
Who would I bring back? Really? Frida.
Frida Spirits?
Frida Spirit.
But we killed her.
I know. But,
Oh, I guess that
Billy
doesn't matter.
Come
yeah.
on.
yeah. Like, she's just,
Just out there.
yeah. She's just that weird, new age, whatever. And I think she'd be good comic relief. Not gonna lie.
What about you, Chris?
I've given this some thought, and I think Madame Beaver deserves another
Yes.
kick at the cat because she was just, and Keighla was so nervous playing Madame Beaver, and I totally get it. I totally understand. But she was so languorous and elegant and expressed herself in such a saucy way. And I just think...
but the statements did not go with it, which was just what made
Which
it
was
so
great.
good. Yeah.
And I think that given that Kayla's had now more time and experience in front of the camera and stuff, I think Madame Beaver could really be something a lot of fun
Yeah.
to watch.
Well, I know you said that you would have played her differently. Like going back and watching her now, you would have played her
Just
differently.
with more confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, and learn how to spit.
Well, yeah. Well, you trying to spit brownie.
Yeah.
Pretending
Yeah,
it's
that's
chew.
chew,
Yeah.
yeah.
Insert mature joke here.
Would
No,
would
she
that
doesn't
be a
have to
character
learn how
you'd
to
want her
spit. It's
to
okay.
again?
I'd be open to it. Yeah.
Oh, you would be? Okay. Because I think you mentioned once before you wouldn't be open to it. So, or did you change your mind?
No, I just don't like Karen.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, Madame Beaver was interesting and be interesting to see if I could pull the accent off again.
Oh, all you have to do is just watch the video just once, and I'm
that's
sure it would come
true.
back.
Bordello, bro.
What about you, Thor?
Yeah.
I don't have anybody.
Nope.
No.
Oh.
Well, just because I've watched a lot of the episodes, but just trying to recall what's gone on and stuff like that. Nothing comes to me. So.
Well, obviously Candy is on his list because he wants to play her. So.
Oh, yeah.
I wish she was dead.
Talon?
Don't we all? I would like Ringmaster Willie Die to come back because he did not deserve to be shot in.
Right? That was just mean.
That was funny though.
He
Maybe-
died so quick.
That was so graphic.
His
It
twin
was
brother,
fun.
Ringmaster, was he dead?
Yeah.
Good call.
Austin, anybody you bring back?
I'm not sure if she made a reappearance or if it was just in the one episode, but Betty Chokes.
No,
No, it was just one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd bring her back.
I think she's unkillable. So
She was a
She's
horrible
something.
person.
Yeah.
It was funny though. I mean, yeah, you really did create a bit of a bloodbath in that episode. I mean, I guess you were responsible too because you killed
Juice,
Yes, there's two.
the juice and the cat food sample.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Chris, you have a question?
I do actually. I was curious if there was a moment in the series. I know as creator and originator and builder and everything like that, but I wanted everybody to think about a moment in the series that actually surprised you.
God, there's so many.
Right?
Honestly.
Well, because we did a bunch of improv and stuff on a bunch of the sets and shoots, but
I think. Okay, I'll try to go from this perspective. I think it would have to be the turning point for me. And the turning point was during the Christmas episode when Keighla was doing her improv. I know you guys have all heard this story from me before.
it's a good story.
It was when we were improvising your contestant tape, and you made a direct dig at me, which was the whole my Deathams is such a hoot. He convinced the producer to use all my blooper takes for the prize reel. And that I took as a direct jab, right? And I mean, rightfully so. But for me at that moment, not only did I take it as like, okay, the gloves are off and you're coming after me, but that was the moment for me that felt like, okay, we've gelled as a team now. There's no more inhibitions. Now we can go after each other. We can have sheer fun and
It just got real.
not have to really worry about holding back anymore. And I didn't, because then when I wrote the Christmas episode, which was part of that, I went all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the same thing with episode 10
You did.
when I made you guys the polyamorous BDSM couple. And then again with the two-parter, which I then again went after you guys as hard as I could. And but I mean, I didn't do it in a way that was disrespectful or anything, but I tried to really push where we were going so we could have a lot of fun. But for me, the aha moment, the turning point, all of it was the moment you went after me. And I'm like, okay, now I know the gloves are off. Now we can have fun without worrying, are we crossing lines? Are we, I mean, if there's still anything that I find that might be a little risky, I always like to run it past you guys first to make sure that I'm not crossing that line, or if I am, if we can make an adjustment. But
Unless it's Mike, you don't ask him anything. So.
no, but for me, I think that was my turning point, my big aha moment. So we can all blame Keighla for the fact that I went after everybody.
Well, you treated me no different. It was just those.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with your fault. Yes.
How about you, Mike?
What was your question? I wasn't paying attention.
I was just wondering if there was actually a moment in the series that surprised you.
So I'm gonna go a little wishy-washy with this one.
I did.
It would have to be this guy,
Yeah.
just with his talent on writing, directing, watching him edit this stuff together, watching him come up with the special effects, just over the last while has been amazing.
I'm actually going to pile on that and
Right.
say that I was surprised every time we saw a finished episode.
Yeah.
And said, like, seriously, we sit in a little studio, camera, some lights, that kind of thing, and then we come back to an episode that is audio remastered, whatever that means. I don't know. It sounds impressive, but the special effects and the lighting and the cuts and everything like that, I am consistently surprised.
Yeah.
So I have to pile on top of that and say.
And when he first showed me season 10,
No, even
Episode-
episode
10. Well, it's season 10.
Feels
We're
like
in the future.
Wow.
You didn't
I
miss
mean,
that
episode
one.
11, the first of the
Third,
two-parters?
fourth,
Yes.
That's how you
that's
syndicate quickly.
It was just incredible, right?
Yeah.
So watching you grow from, I don't know if I can do this, to where you are now, it's just big improvement.
Awesome.
And that I love. That's it.
How about yourself, Keighla?
Oof.
Yeah, try and going after that.
Yeah, no, pass.
That's a big shoes to fill there, ladies.
Surprising.
Minnie's acting skills.
The stench of these folks. Like, we don't have smell-o-vision, but boy, man,
Mostly to
with
the left.
me.
I showered and used soap.
What year? No, just kidding. Love you.
The biggest surprise for me is just the infinite variety of just characters, personas, costumes, makeup, hair, personalities, all of it. Just huge. I think
And we're not done.
50
I mean,
characters,
like,
you said, or something
yeah,
like
it was
that? Like,
exactly
it's
50
huge.
characters
50
that we created for
characters.
season
One
one.
season.
And somehow you got all 49 in your head.
Yeah.
Or out of your head.
At 49 and a half, let's go with that.
Yeah.
And on a poster.
right?
Available for $19.99.
It's a little bit more expensive than that, but yeah, no, yeah, you're right. We did create exactly 50 characters for season 1. I don't know how, but we did, and and that's not it. I mean, if we do a season 2, which is already kind of in the early planning, there's a lot more characters already being laid out, and I don't know how we already came up with 50, but yeah.
Oh, and we also might have a sister show coming.
So that's surprising too. So thank you very much.
Surprise!
What about you, Minnie? Anything that leapt out and surprised you?
I don't know.
There's-
Hang on, one
there's-
sec. I don't know. Did I cut you off?
Nope.
Keighla? Oh, are you sure?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I have two. One, honestly, seeing the very first episode put together, because this is my first dalliance in the acting world in any real scope, and just seeing how the vision translated from what AJ had talked about. We planned and worked on, and then seeing it come to fruition was just mind-blowing how well we could do it, and the improvements we've made since. The other one is a personal surprise, favor, fun thing. The last time Anita was on the show and she was all distraught and everything, had no booze, because that's what happens, and they brought the biggest fucking bottle. That reaction was 100% honest. I'm like,
Well, we never told you we were going to do that.
no, it made me so happy.
I just told you we're going to do something, just run with it.
No, and I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And it
was
took me
amazing.
Good.
minutes and minutes to empty that bottle for you.
I'm sorry.
That was delicious.
And it took her minutes and minutes to empty the bottle
I
on
know,
camera.
she did it way faster.
Yeah. Anita's dedicated.
All right, thank you, Thor. Something surprising, shocking.
Well, I don't know. Just how fantastic I really am.
Well, we all agree. We were all surprised too.
Yeah.
The puns, right? All the
Right.
names are puns, and and to me that's just amazing that you come up with all that
It's
stuff.
punny.
But the whole creative process. So when we're sitting down here and everybody's kind of having a little, like sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming, but there's a lot of
Stuff going on.
twisted minds working together
there are.
and coming up with what's going on.
Well,
And
because I don't come up with all of it on my own.
Yeah,
I try to
it's
let,
the outline, and then
and then I let it kind of
get to
become a
run with it,
collaborative
yeah.
process. Right?
Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Good. All right, how about yourself, Talon?
The question
she's
was
still
when
here.
I.
Were you
that
surprised by
surprised-
anything? Something that surprised you in the series?
That you gave Crispy a 6-pack.
That was pretty impressive.
I was pretty amazed.
Being allowed out of the makeup costume room.
Oh,
and you got on set.
Oh yeah, what are you doing down here?
Right?
My face needs
Fantastic.
powdering.
Yeah.
Makeup!
Yeah, I kept losing nails. So. Awesome. All right.
I will glue those fuckers on. I mean,
I think you're gonna those beepers on.
Crazy glue.
How about yourself, Austin? Something that surprised you?
Well, it both surprised me, and it's a favorite moment of mine. It was the moment when you pulled the bill out of Filthy Rotten Crotch's cup.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Great line.
No, yeah,
great
you
delivery.
got me good on that one too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, that I improvised, right? Because I mean, we knew we were going to throw the
Yeah,
money in the
yeah.
hat, right? But that one bill just stood up, and I'm like, I might as well be cheap, and I just took the one bill back, and then you decided to up it even
Yeah.
more, and you just made
Great.
me lose it.
It was
I
great.
will admit that I am a little surprised that nobody said the Death and Maya Finger Puppet
Oh,
YouTube
God,
channel
yes.
because that was so cute.
Is that yours? Is that yours?
No, I think that was hers.
No,
I mean, is that
your
your?
Oh yeah. No, I was just commenting. No, my surprise was piling on Mike and
Oh, right,
saying that you're awesome. So.
That almost
I-
fails to bring a tear to my eye.
I'm also very surprised at how much ass kissing there is here.
Yeah,
on this DVD special issue. Yeah, holy crap.
I think I still got some room. Over
I have chapstick if anyone needs it.
Thor, do you have any questions?
Well, as we talked and stuff like this, so how did we all end up here? Like
I have no idea.
I was forced by God.
chloroform.
Chloroform?
I don't get allowed out of that room very often.
No, I don't mean down in the base, because I mean that's their usual MO, but
Help us.
that's their usual MO.
I lost a bet with God.
How did everybody get recruited?
Yeah, like Austin, where'd you come from? What was your...
Minnie dragged me here.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Well,
I was forced.
Yeah, okay, so Mike, it was basically because, well, he's married to me, right? Has no choice. Minnie, I met her when she was doing a drag show with a mutual friend of ours,
Yeah,
and we hit it off quickly.
we did.
And she was the
And-
best act there.
That's kind of sad.
That's how
Yeah.
you lie.
And, no, excuse me, I was the best actor.
That's
Acting.
acting.
But yeah, so I asked her if she wanted to join our previous project, and then, like I said, that got canceled because of COVID. So
That's how we suckered her
we
in.
suckered her into this. She brought in Talon, and she brought in Austin.
Chloroform.
Yeah.
Chris,
I still have
I
those
met
chains
through another mutual friend through the previous project as well, and then
He came
You
over
signed
for
on.
that audition one day.
Yeah.
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 Oh my
There was this
gosh.
black leather
He-
couch
he
in a
was
white room, and
Freaky
Yeah.
and funny,
We
and we
made
said
you
we
try
had to
on
get
a
this
suit.
guy.
yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah.
need nipples on that suit.
Chris.
How'd you
Chris,
get here?
Chris was out. Chris was way
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
in his audition. His audition tape was really funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, we got to bring him on. And
or
then-
whatever. Yeah.
We needed a nut,
And then he introduced us to Keighla.
Yeah.
And so
not a rat.
we shackled her on as well. So.
And then how about Thor?
Yeah, how'd Thor
Yeah,
end up
how
here?
did-
I answered an ad. It was either on Facebook or Kijiji or something,
I just
right?
thought you
it
showed
would've
up
been
at our door.
It was Facebook.
I think it was
I
Facebook.
think it was
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah,
and there
it
was a
was
phone number, so I called AJ, and he just like, yeah, we're doing this thing, come on over. So,
And then,
yeah, I basically did
I
show
thought it was a dating site.
Right?
Hey, shut up.
I also remember though that every time I would call you and say, "Look, I got another role for you," your response was, "Hell yes, I'll take it." You always offer me the best roles.
He has to stay for community service
Yeah.
hours.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Get here.
Talon, did you have a question?
No.
No. Okay.
Can I go back in my room?
Austin, do you have a question?
All right, I have a question for all of you. What was your favorite episode to produce? Or like, what was your favorite episode to film?
13.
Well, I guess she's going first.
Absolutely. Take it,
All right,
Minnie.
go ahead.
13, just because it brought back a lot of characters. It made us,
Oh, for the spy cams, you mean?
yeah, the spy cams. And just some of the things we did, the Maya spy cam, probably one of my favorites. You are one of the creepiest humans ever. It was just a lot of fun to revisit people and honestly to just,
See what happened to all the
Yeah,
characters?
yeah.
What
just-
spy cam was that?
Which one?
The one that you're talking about?
the one with Maya and Nick Devane.
Oh,
she's
we're
coming
downstairs.
Oh,
The extended
Okay.
spy cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you see Nick's bloody hand come around the corner.
Just to clarify for the people at home.
Well, see, and I thought that was fun to kind of explore it that way, right? Because then, you know, the first time it's revealed, you just see Maya coming up with the bloody mallet, and she continues on, and the spy can ends, right? And then we actually realized there was more to it than we revealed the first time, and that's Nick Devane survived the bloody beating that he got from that.
And you
sighting.
look nice and bloody. That's nice.
I mean, blood looks good on me. So.
Right? Apparently.
Except when you get it in your eye.
Oh,
Talon.
gosh.
Hey, it's all her fault for her eye being there.
That stained the contact lens.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. Thick
Good blood.
Yep.
Yeah, because you used what, the blood gel? I think that's what you used, the thicker stuff,
Yeah.
when you drizzled it on her?
Yeah, because flicking any of the other kind of blood at her was not working, and for some reason, anytime we tried, it would go to her eyeball. No matter what. It was like straight to her eyeball. I could be aiming the opposite direction and it would go
Yeah,
right to her
your
eyeball.
eye was really red and
Oh,
irritated.
It was. It was. I took one in the eye for the team.
Oh.
Better you than me.
It's better
And
than
it
taking-
burned!
Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. No, what was the question again?
What was your favorite episode to film?
Favorite episode to film.
It's our first day.
Favorite episode to film. Probably the Christmas episode, specifically Maya's contestant tape, just because I loved unleashing the finger puppets on everybody. Like nobody saw it coming. I prepped them that morning, and just popped them up, and
Yeah, they were so cute.
nobody knew what to expect.
Well, you
It
were
was
even
just
like, because you didn't
hilarious.
even come with Chris, because Chris came early.
Yeah.
Or,
Chris
Chris
beat up.
came, well, yeah, you came on time.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he
Worse
was
than last
like,
time.
we were like, I don't know, like half an hour away from filming or something. He's like, don't worry, she'll be here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but she just had to finish preparing, and it's like, what the hell does that mean, right? Right,
Yep.
she prepares here, so, but he wouldn't say what, and then you kept them hidden until I yelled action, and then you pulled them out. You caught all of us off guard with them.
So, yeah, so that was probably one of my favorite episodes to film.
I saw them before anybody else.
Yeah. It's my turn.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No.
No, you're done. Okay. So my favorite was an episode. I'm gonna pull a Minni and do a, whatever they're called.
Spy cam.
Spy cam. Thank you. With Cletus running over the princess.
Yeah,
That was awesome. I
Oh,
enjoyed it.
that took all day though.
it was worth it.
It was.
Well, it is quite the speed bump.
Yeah, it's having to go over that shellacked hair, you know.
And her bottle.
Yeah.
Well, but building the mannequin was funny because we had to cut that head in half, right? So that way it would actually come to your height,
Yep.
right? So
And she was
we had the
still a
foam
little
head.
too tall.
Well, we had the foam head, and we had to tape the foam head to the mannequin. And then we had to literally saw her head in half, right? So we could put the wig on and have it be the same height as Minnie. And then running it over was funny.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And that was actually the first shot that we did, because then we had to strip the mannequin and get Minnie into the costume after that. And I'm surprised that the costume didn't get destroyed taking the blow. Well, it was funny because you missed the first time.
It survives her. It could survive a car crash.
He's speeding at the mannequin in the first take. He's speeding at the mannequin, and he slams on the brake and literally just nudges the mannequin. It didn't fall. He literally nudged it. Well, it technically fell beforehand because
Yeah.
we
'Cause it
called
was very
action,
windy.
and the thing fell before he even turned on the car. And then the second time, he hit it and stopped literally right on it, so it like nudged and just kind of swayed but didn't fall. And then the third time was when he finally hit it, and it fell, and it fell beautifully. It fell absolutely.
And all the
perfectly.
shots came together just great.
My pregnant mannequin is very grateful for that acting opportunity.
And thank you for leaving that mannequin in the bathroom.
You're very welcome. Did the neighbors say anything about that?
No. And thank you for moving that mannequin out of the bathroom.
And I can honestly say that whenever we need a stand-in for the princess,
We got
or somebody to replace the princess, we now have a very talented actress.
Yes.
True.
Here you go.
And what was yourself? Favorite episode?
What was the question again?
Favorite episode to film.
It's kind of a tough one. It's kind of a cross between the Christmas episode and the two-parter. I guess you could almost call it a three-parter because the finale episode kind of ties in with the two-parter as well. But the Christmas episode was kind of a last-minute addition to our filming roster for the season because we realized we wanted to do a Christmas episode, but we were going to be releasing this batch of episodes at Christmas, and so we weren't going to have time to film it, and it was going to come out late. So we realized we had to push it up, and we squeezed it into 2 shoots in between all the extra filming. But it really allowed us to change the direction of the show, which was a lot of fun. The reason I also say kind of the 2/3-parter was because when I wrote that episode, that was the first episode all of you reacted to, right? When I got like, you're a maniac and Eep and oh my God, this is psycho, but it's going to be so much fun to film and stuff. And for me, when I wrote it, I was like, okay, this is going to be out there. I hope everybody's going to react positively to this because this is way out there. But then my next thing was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to film this. I don't know how we're going to pull it off, but I guess one crisis at a time. Right? So I'm like, that's tomorrow's problem. I'll figure that out then. And in the editing room, when it came together, it was absolutely amazing. So all of those ones, the Christmas episode, the two-parter, and the finale, those are all the really story-driven episodes, revealing everything about Death and Maya and Crispy and all that. And to me, that kind of all translates into one big episode, really, when you kind of look at it that way. And so for me, it would have to be kind of all those episodes. Not to say that some of the other ones, like the Toxic episode, weren't great.
Yeah,
I mean, they
no.
really were. But,
You only get to pick one.
yeah, I'd have to say the Christmas or the two-parter.
So in other words, you pick 3.
Why not? And the finale, so 4.
Well, they all let us. They all 4 of those let us tell their story, but also let us do it in different ways
Yeah.
and explore various different angles of how the episodes were going to evolve. So it definitely was a fun way to explore things, and that's why it's really tough to pick between those 4. What about you, Chris?
For me, in terms of filming, I loved being these characters so much, and Crispy and Death, like I said, the play between when I was the contestant, sitting next to Death and playing off him. But the
Which
one
one, Crispy or Sawyer?
Crispy,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But the one that I walked into and my jaw dropped was Crispy's throne room, because seriously, all of a sudden this space turned into something completely radically different. We had a completely different setup. We had a throne that was just beyond belief. And being able to sit there as Crispy with...
Which you broke.
Which I broke. With Puppet Jones in my hand and Heavenly crouched at my feet, and just being this chortling demi-overlord of the underworld sort of thing just felt so cool. And so yeah, that was definitely one of the places I loved being the most.
Egomaniac.
Oh,
much?
gods, yes. That's why you hired me.
But it's been fun too, because we've been actually starting to explore a lot more mini sets,
Mhm.
right? Like coming up with like Maya's bathroom,
Right.
and Death's makeup room,
Yeah.
and
That was a good one.
the
I
casino.
forgot about that one.
What, Death's makeup room?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And well, and the casino was fun.
Oh God, that was great.
That was an interesting set to build, and it's fun because we're getting to explore
Yeah.
new avenues. But I get what you mean by, I mean that took me about 2 weeks to build,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And it only took me one sit down to break.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Two.
somebody's
It
been-
took
okay,
2
yes.
because you didn't break it the first time.
That's true.
So.
You were more gentle the first time.
What you?
One last thing I'd like to
Oh,
add.
yeah.
Crispy actually looks really amazing on that film. Like it came together really, really well.
Love it.
Except
was
for all the
alive.
red stains you left on the, because you like leave red everywhere you go.
The
Oh,
sink,
I just
the
get so
toilet, the
excited,
door.
Thor?
Well, I had lots of fun doing lots of them, but I think with Karen and Dr. Incisions and just like the work that we went, like trying to get the flow going and all of that, and then the whole wall.
That was it.
Yep.
Well, and
Another
the
mini
other thing,
scene,
the
yep.
other thing about that too was that we were going to do it in like 4 separate shots or something like
Yeah,
that. But you
yeah.
guys took it upon yourselves to just like, hey, let's just get through it.
Yeah.
You did it in 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was able to blend the 2 shots so you couldn't tell it was 2 separate shots.
Well, and you know what? Like we had one where it was absolutely perfect, and then I hesitated when it came to throwing the water on because we only had the one take, and I didn't really have the go ahead. And it's just like, you idiot. But yeah, we got right to the very end.
And you just doused her.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you told me afterwards you felt so bad about
Yeah.
that. And I mean, there she is walking around, like, with like.
I had an accident.
It flooded my basement.
That was funny though.
Yeah,
That was really
Ian
funny.
has that effect on me.
And there you are after you like completely douse her and she goes down. Then you just like go for her purse and you start taking out her cash and pocketing it. You know, oh, it's funny. You guys really improvised that really
Yeah.
well. So,
So good.
Talon,
I really enjoyed the like outside one
Mm-hmm.
and running over the princess. I can't.
Shooting at Cletus.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed shooting at Cletus. Apparently, I know how to shoot a gun, which I don't actually, but
You miss.
Well, it was funny because you're standing there with your little cell phone off to the side filming.
oh yeah, man, those are hilarious.
Filming the mannequin getting hit by the car.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, that was great.
good.
I thought she needed something for her reel, you know.
How about yourself, Austin?
For me, it comes down to two. There's the toxic episode, but that was purely for a technical aspect. The challenge with the fog and pulling focus, it made it fun for me. But my favorite episode would have to be the one with Rich Bilker. Any scene we filmed with him was excellent.
Yeah.
He was he was sleazy.
Oh.
I loved when he's like, you know, the room with the view. Well, I'll be filming you. You know, like, it was just so bad.
Well, and just how mad Dongula got at him for not recognizing
From
her.
And the porn names.
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we're
Yeah.
screwed up with the porn names. It's supposed to be titty flickers, and you call it flicking titties. And all of them, we're all gone, right? We're all laughing.
Great stuff.
Yeah, no, that was pretty awful. So.
Yeah.
What do you like about carbon dating, Mike?
Take your time, man.
I'm going to, because
Only a half hour show.
Lay a heavy one on him like that.
I don't think there's a positive. No, just kidding.
Well, there is one now. You're
Why
the
do
one
I
paying
like
for
about
it.
carbon? Already am. Watching everybody grow as an actor, including myself, because I don't act.
Good.
Just saying.
And not just in the waist area because of COVID.
What about you, Keighla? What do you like about carbon dating?
The camaraderie, being able to be an absolute goofball on set and bantering back lines and being ridiculous and being able to crack each other up.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It is a
I like-
bonus.
well, I do like the fact that we've gotten very non-judgmental. You know, we let loose and we just kind of go with it. You're right. That's a really good quality I like about it. So, and you, Minnie?
Miniature poodle.
What do I like about carbon dating? For somebody that's never even thought of acting in the past, it's wonderful to be able to just step into someone else or a different character and allow myself to become something or someone else and just see how ludicrous we can be with it. And the camaraderie, like this has been one of the most transformative things I've ever done in my life, personally and professionally.
Well, when we see people like Mike running around in Cletus, like, you have to pretty much,
That's what my therapist is for.
Grin and bear it.
Chris?
I loved the opportunity, and I thank you, AJ, for the opportunity. I haven't tread the boards before myself either, but and I'm sure it didn't show. But no, just having that chance to take a space and just fill it with as much ridiculousness and fun as I could.
That's
And
the 11ing it of it.
That's exactly it. And then, but there was also it was in front of the camera, but it was also behind the camera because you always made space for people to do something else. We all introduced ourselves as other things as well. And you let us take on both the challenges in front and behind the camera, and that's what I loved about this experience.
Well, part of that too was because of the COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
Right. Early on, we agreed that we would keep it as to a very, very small group, and unfortunately, that meant that a lot of us who were just performers had to step into roles of production side of things. Right. So I think that's again where some of the camaraderie comes in, is because we've all had to.
Clapboard.
Scripty.
We've all had to kind of step out of our comfort zone and rotate positions, literally, and sometimes it's kind of spur of the moment. It's like, oh, look, that person's up in the makeup chair, we need somebody to fill, do you mind stepping in quickly, right? And we and I think that's kind of also helped us grow in a sense, because then we all kind of understand a little bit of each other's jobs and stuff. So all eyes on you.
the camaraderie thing is a huge one, and the creativity and just seeing, the whole process and what's going on. For myself personally, though, working in front of the camera, like getting comfortable in front of the camera, right? For as much stuff as I've done on stage, I am not comfortable working in front of a camera. And so
You
this
don't
gives
say.
me,
Doesn't show.
right,
No, it
this gives
doesn't
me
show
an
for us.
opportunity to, try and relax and
Good.
be comfortable doing it. And
Are you more comfortable now in front of the camera, or still no?
It doesn't show much.
It doesn't go away. It's like once that camera once that camera comes on,
Yep.
you forget everything.
Yep.
It's like, what am I doing here?
Well, but I mean, I think there's more to it than just that, though. I mean, like for one, I mean, we have bright spotlights blinding us, right? And you're trying to lose that focus. Plus, you can't see anybody else beyond those lights, so you don't know their reactions. So if you're being funny, you don't know if you're making them laugh. You don't know if they're scrutinizing you or judging you or what, right?
Well, that's a good thing.
you guys
I don't wanna
react,
see
though.
Although, and every time there's a cut and there's that burst of laughter that everybody's been just holding back, it's so
and sometimes
rewarding.
we can't hold it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes we
Mostly
just can't.
AJ.
Sometimes we ruin a cut.
Yeah.
Yep, ruin a take.
Well, and I mean, I got you the one time when I'm sitting next. You were playing your role. I think it was Rich Bilker, and I'm sitting on the other end, and I'm like, "Do you want me to respond as death?" And you're like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and then all of a sudden you lost it because you didn't actually expect me to actually talk like that, right? So, what about you, Talon?
The creativeness of everything, learning to basically figure things out on the fly, and
The joy of any production.
yeah, and even with, well, the experimentation to see what works better,
Right? Yeah.
Sure.
especially with those abs.
They turned out great. I was very happy.
You were like a god for a day.
I mean, just counting them to make sure you got the correct number.
I was gonna add an
five.
extra, you know.
He is the devil, so. Yeah. Good.
Oh, and I guess I have to ask or answer that too, right? Why do I like carbon dating?
Better go to the bathroom now, kids.
I like it because of the fact that it's not limited. And what I mean by that is I created the template, but I left it open for everybody to try to make it their own, right? So everybody brings their own unique qualities to the characters, the show, the development of the story and the concepts and all of that. And it's having all that talent incorporated in one project rather than it being specifically one person overseeing all of it. I think it's all the unique qualities that each and every single one of you bring to it that make it my favorite part of carbon dating. Because I can tell you right now, like if it wouldn't have been for a lot of the decisions that you've made or suggestions that you've offered and stuff like that, carbon dating would not be where it landed, where it ended. So I'm very pleased with what everybody brought to the table for it. So.
We're not used to doing the feely thing.
He usually doesn't say nice stuff to us.
He's very mean.
What inspired the finger puppets?
Oh, okay. So
That's a specific question. buddy.
that is a very specific question, and it kind of ties into the evolution of Maya. So, to dial back just a smidge, Maya was never a talking character initially, and when it was proposed to make her a talking character, and that Death really hated her, I had to do some deep thinking.
Some soul searching.
Yeah, on a show of horrible characters, on absolutely despicable, horrible, disgusting, awful characters.
That's
Why?
just rude.
Why does it's the truth? but why does Death hate Maya more than any of them, right? And that came through thinking it through. It's because Maya is obsessed with death in a way that all these other characters aren't. So she's an idiot. She's a bimbo. She's cunning and conniving, but she's also obsessed with death. If there was a death fan club, she'd kill their leader and take over. Like she's yeah.
Hey, that gives me an idea.
So from there, developed her character, inspired by this one big narcissist I actually know.
It's me, isn't it? It's totally me. I get it. Yeah.
You flatter yourself, but no. And her attitude. So from there, it's like, okay, Maya's world is all about Maya, and Maya's vision is death is hers. And so why wouldn't she live out that fantasy? And that became the evolution of the puppets. It's like, okay, Maya's going to have this fantasy. She can't touch death in real life, but death is hers. So now she's got the Maya puppet and a death puppet, and now they can live out that fantasy. And we'll see what
she's
happens
just nuts.
from there.
Yeah, she's just nuts.
Yeah.
Well, but narcissistic and nuts and self-obsessed and so full of herself and so believing that this is the way it's going to be. And Death is just like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Not only because her twin sister was my one love, but also Maya is a nut bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has like all these traits because you just said that she was like, not dumb, but ditzy,
Yep.
right? But she's not because she stalked death.
Yep. No, she
Right?
is.
So
It's like those
she's like everything rolled up into one.
Yeah.
And it's like the
pile
thought.
of nuts.
It's like the thought processes aren't firing properly.
Yeah.
Right. There's
She's
just something
everywhere.
off. Yeah.
She doesn't have that boundary.
Yeah.
That a regular person would say, okay, no, that's uncool, that's stepping over the line. It's her vision is death is mine. And I will do everything in my power to make sure Death knows he's mine, including showing how great we would be together as finger puppets.
On her YouTube
scared.
channel that has 14 subscribers.
I'm scared to see what she brings next.
I have a question.
Sure.
When are we going to see the Maya and Death Finger
Well,
puppet
you know, spin-off
YouTube
series in
channel?
the works if I get the rights from the producer.
Contract,
What did you call
all
it?
that.
Maya Fingers Death?
Yes. Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
How did the production evolve from the beginning to the end of the season, from your point of view?
Very slightly.
So apparently I'm going first?
Yep.
Why do I always go first?
Because you're the most
Okay,
important.
thank you, I know.
Star of the show.
How did it evolve? Really good.
Thanks.
Okay,
Keighla.
Keighla, you're next.
How did it evolve? We got better.
Right?
That kind of is implied in the word evolve.
Like
yeah.
a-
No,
Are you sure?
I
We can negatively evolve.
True.
If you haven't seen, the first 4 episodes were, yeah, we could have done better,
But
we
we had a
kings.
million. No, we had. Well, I mean, okay. First of all, we had no experience working together. Secondly, we didn't know how the episodes were going to turn out because we didn't see any of them. 'Cause they all
We're
came
by
off together.
ourselves.
But we also had COVID to deal with,
Yeah.
right? And that threw a big kink in how we started, right?
Let's
And,
go with
and the set changed. Like, seriously, we can say all those things,
Yes,
but
because we moved.
we moved.
Well, the first 4 episodes were shot in our living room.
Exactly.
Exactly.
One chair and a hanging curtain, and that was the set sort of thing. Then we moved into a space
An
that you
actual
guys
studio.
designed
An actual
as a
studio.
studio.
Right.
And it made a huge amount of difference.
And maybe next year we'll get a bigger
Well,
one.
but to quickly add on to that too, it wasn't just the studio space that made a difference. When we had started filming Carbon Dating and we were designing the initial show, our original thought was let's keep it as simple as possible, right? So we didn't really have a story in the episodes either. It was just basically pair up 4 really awful people, try to find some kind of a commonality between them, pair them together, and that was the episode. Once we moved, and I said to everybody, I said, look, if we're going to keep going with this, I can see a story forming. Can I run with it? And everybody said, yeah, go for it. And so I started developing little individual story-based episodes, but that were starting to progress a much larger arc in the process, right? And setting that major storyline into motion.
So at least now you don't have to answer your own question.
That's right. It is the evolution.
So,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Minni?
Pretty much you
Good.
said everything. No,
Yeah.
no, it's seeing how we started with one camera, 4 lights, a truss, and a handful of chairs, and 1 actor at a time to a fully functional, well lit, well executed studio. Like it.
On its good days.
On its good days. But just
When the
seeing-
continuity supervisor's doing her job.
Right?
And we put on the lights.
Yes, yes, that's my bad. But just
Because apparently Death could see this light behind him and know that it's off,
Even though he's blind as a bat.
when 5 people in front of him couldn't even see it.
no, because of the lights.
I was busy watching the TV monitor. That's my excuse.
But just seeing how being in the right setting and having the right equipment and the right training,
And
Just-
get into the groove.
yeah, it just lifted it up so much better. Like, I don't regret doing the first 4 because they're
You gotta
Funny.
learn.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to start somewhere.
Gotta go somewhere.
and they weren't horrible. They are what they are.
Mhm.
But to see where we are in episode 13 now, it's just kind of like, holy crap, we did that!
And a big difference.
Huge
Yeah.
difference.
Big, big, big.
Chris?
Yeah, that's what I threw in there, especially the change in venue, the change in approach, the change in experience. Like the evolution was all of it together led to much better product in my mind. So
And it's only going to get better.
Especially the last couple of episodes are definitely setting the bar
Higher and higher.
for if we want to continue. So.
I'm gonna have to get a ladder so I can get up to that bar.
Yeah.
What about you, Thor?
Needs to be a big
Was the
ladder.
evolution of the evolution. I don't know.
Meta
what that means.
evolution.
Yeah, meta. No, just everything changed, right? When you guys moved and set up this area, and just how different that was compared to working in the living room and trying to go down that little corridor.
Hey, you didn't have to move all that damn furniture.
That's true.
Oh my god.
That's the other nice thing about having a designated space. No more furniture. Well, now we just have like all the gear to constantly move, but
Yeah, but at least
Not
you have
that
a living
far.
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially not now. Not with our new furniture. Talon?
Well, it started from the sea.
Oh, nice. All right, settle down,
And then it developed
kids.
legs and crawled onto land.
We don't have that much time to go that far back.
Oh, okay. Well, it started. No.
When a mommy and daddy love each other.
No, when a daddy and daddy love each other.
They produced this mutant offspring.
And that's how. And then the stork delivers the baby, and that's how they're born.
And that's how this is born.
And that's how we get all the
Yes.
actors.
Spawned. It's
Yeah.
spawned.
It's spawned.
Any final thoughts on that one?
No, you guys pretty much said it all.
Yeah.
It's like we threw water on all the one actor and they just popped nuts.
Don't feed
No,
it after
you
midnight.
fed us after midnight. That's it.
That's for you, Mark.
Which characters do you think would make the best pairing? Starting with Mike.
Oh.
Which two?
Which two would make the best
Candy
pairing?
crispy.
Totally.
I'm gonna say El Placebo and Princess.
Nice.
Really, you keep calling Candy though. You keep dreaming about Candy.
Oh please!
That's because
I'm screaming Candy in my head.
I don't know, I thought
they would just
Dongula and El
like,
Placebo were a match made.
They
in
were
hell.
a good match.
No, because
Weird.
Princess and El
He
Placebo
robbed you blind.
would have a great party together.
Wouldn't
They
they?
got booze and drugs. They're good to go.
Yeah.
They wouldn't remember anything.
No,
Well, he sleeps all the time. She's
drunk all the
dumb.
time. She is.
Princess.
Might as well be asleep all the time.
Pretty much.
So you think El Placebo and the Princess?
Yeah,
Great.
we'd be in bed by 5.
What about you, Keighla?
Sawyer Killing and Marion Monet, because they'd either try and kill each other back and forth, or they'd get in line and be the worst couple ever.
Oh, there'd be genocide.
Yes, because they just take out everyone.
Those were the two I was originally going to pair in the
Nice.
first episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
But because we needed to kill
Yep.
Frida,
I
I
remember.
ended up and that was the thing, was originally it was going to be Marion Monet, but I screwed up when I was designing. Well, like I said, we only had 3 actresses available at the time, and I had given Marion Monet and Frida Spirits both Takashi to play,
That's right.
and I didn't realize that I planned for both those characters to be on the same episode. And I'm like, shit, right? Because then I kind of limited it to, rather than being able to, stretch out the actress into several episodes, it was all contained into one. So when I was doing it, I was like, well, I have no choice. I have to kill Frida. but originally Marion Monet was going to get paired with him, and I thought that was going to definitely create some sparks. But
Yep.
good call. Good call.
Yeah.
What about you, Minnie?
Madam Beaver and Rich Bilker.
Oh.
Nice. Oh,
That'd be an interesting one.
it would be, yeah.
I'm not sure he'd give her much of a discount,
No.
but
Well, that's good because you're always picking your teeth and he's always going.
Yeah.
"Oh."
I don't know if she'd give him much of a
Picking the
discount
lice
either.
off of her girls.
Yep.
That's what
Yeah. We'll just fill all of his spare rooms with Hello Brothello Bordellos.
That's an interesting combo. I never,
Right?
gave
Never
that
thought
a
of it.
thought, yeah. What about you, Chris?
Well, there are two couples that really. The first one, the sheer physical magnetism and drive and power, even on screen together,
Death and Crispy.
was
I ship it.
Howie Squirts and Pat His Cock.
Ugh.
Because seriously, those two ended up together. It was fantastic. But I'm going to go way back and actually say that there was an on-screen reference to a relationship, but Marion Monet and Phil Graves.
oh yeah.
They belong together. That's
Yeah.
Good working combo.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, exactly.
What was the? Sorry, I forget. What was the one that you just commented before that?
Howie Squirts and
Oh, right.
Pat
But
His
we
Cock.
were
We were actually the very first and only couple to actually pair up on
to
the show.
successfully pair up, and you weren't even the.
And
the
we weren't
one-
even, we weren't even paired up with the main contestant. We just happened to fall in love with each other
Aw.
in the middle of the episode. And it was the only successful actual match, right? Even
Yeah.
though Death keeps calling
So,
it a
yeah,
successful
you
match.
asked me what the best pairing was, and
Yeah.
that's the one.
So, Marion Monet and Phil.
just no bringing those two back. We'll let them right off into the sunset.
That would be a good working relationship.
It is.
What about you?
Rich Bilker and every female character.
Nice. No limits.
Well
Go
done.
for you.
What about you, Talon?
Candy
And every male character.
and Herbert.
For those of you who don't know, Herbert is the princess's emotional support dildo.
Which, if you order now, $19.99.
And it smells like Talon.
And tacos and cookies.
Yeah.
Because that's what's in her purse.
What about you, Austin?
I would say probably Filthy and Betty.
Oh.
Oh, really?
I'm going
Okay.
to Betty.
Yeah,
There you
because
go,
she
Phil.
gets a man and he never goes hungry.
Makes sense.
Nicely done.
Although she never really wanted a man.
No,
No.
she just wanted to be left the fuck
Just
alone.
wanted to be left alone.
He would leave her alone,
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
except for dinner time.
Well, he'd be crying because he still has no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he'd eat tuna because he was hungry. And
Yeah.
then
No,
he
All the
wouldn't have
samples.
to worry about money.
Well, if he got sick of horse, I'm pretty sure he's going to get sick of tuna.
Yeah.
Well, she does work at the
Not whore.
cafeteria, so
It's true. Large lumps of cigar ash in the
All right, how about you?
You okay?
The wheels are turning. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round.
What would
and
be okay? Well, like I said before, Manny Scrubs was probably the most normal character
Which is
out of the
terrifying.
group. But I know Will Fondle's a bit of a Casanova, so let's go with Will Fondle and maybe Maya.
Oh! Look at that.
Oh!
That would be a fun combo.
That would be, yeah.
Sorry, Maya. I think the arrogance between both
Get you.
characters.
Oh my god.
That would be
Because I
amazing.
mean, Maya is arrogant to a point, right? Not the same type of arrogance as Will Fondle, but she's definitely high on herself. I think those two would definitely have an interesting.
Yeah, can't argue that.
But that's but the thing about Will though is that he's like a one-time kind of guy, right? You know, and then moves on to the next.
but she's
So,
the only one that turns him down.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, and that's why I think it would be persistent for him. It would be like, yeah,
She's the one that got away.
Yeah.
pretty
Wow.
much.
That would be cool.
If you were forced to date somebody from the show, who would you date?
So you.
And you can't pick your own character.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn! I was going to, and I can't.
Well, who would it have been if it was yours? El Placebo.
I don't want to give it away just in case someone else wants to use it. So I will say that character last.
Okay.
I am going to have to say Crispy.
You would date Crispy?
Yeah. Well, if he was 20 years younger and that six pack was actually.
He is pretty damn charming.
Right.
I'll give you that.
Okay, so what about you, Keighla? Who would you go for?
Everyone else is just creepy.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good question.
Remember, you're being forced to do it.
I'm being forced at gunpoint
Yeah.
Pretty much.
to go out with somebody.
So Nick D'bomme.
I know I can take him.
Right.
Yeah.
You go for
Is
it.
that what you're calling it now?
Probably Death.
Oh, there's a surprise.
See? And that's who I was going to
Cliche.
pick because once I touch him, I die.
Oh, there you go.
Or you just
Date
can't
over.
touch it all. So, and then it's, it's just fun outings to the zoo or dinner. Oh, look at the pandas here. Catch.
Wow,
So
you're
that's what
mean.
happened to them.
Yeah.
You really are horrible.
I mean, if I could choose my own, it'd be sushi, but.
What about you?
So
Minnie?
no pandas were hurt in the making of this.
Well,
And we love pandas.
Yes.
honestly, sushi.
Yep.
If I had to go on a date with somebody, it would be sushi.
Because she smells like fish.
Yes, and she has a sea cat. Sea cave.
Full of dead things.
It glows in the dark.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Unfortunately, sushi was my pick too, because it smells like fish, and I like it.
So apparently everybody likes sushi.
Everybody's liking sushi.
Yep.
What about you, Thor?
Sushi.
Right on.
Damn.
Most dateable.
Well, you did survive the blast. You gonna call sushi as well?
Yeah, then she can't have kids.
No.
It's candy, isn't it?
I would shoot myself. If I was forced, I'd be like, kill me, please.
Oh,
And death.
Somebody.
Then take Death and go run and
Okay.
jump in his arms.
Big hug.
Okay, yeah. I'd give Death a real big hug.
Bear hug.
And Austin?
Austin?
I'd either have to give Death a hug too.
You're going down.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Giving Death a hug.
So there you go. Death and sushi.
Death hugs.
Nice.
How about yourself, H?
So does that mean that Sushi, if Death started to date Sushi, would she die or not?
Theoretically,
'Cause-
she's immortal by our reckoning.
Yeah.
But by immortal, does that mean that she can't die from natural causes or that she can't be killed?
I don't know.
Right?
You're the
Well,
writer.
that's just it.
Well, she survived the nuclear blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Death sucks your soul out.
Yeah, but they're not like being touched like that.
I
It
don't
can't be
know.
my own. Well, El Placebo's pretty harmless.
You date Candy.
He's the head of
I
a
know, but-
crime family. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Cletus.
Really?
That's because I already am dating Cletus. Oh, I married Cletus. Never mind.
Too much
So-
information.
I'm still waiting for my beer.
That totally means
I'm still waiting for you to
that,
shave.
Are you saying that his member is hidden by his
Oh, that
pubic
hair?
hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you really
So-
didn't have to do the shorts.
Oh,
You just did that for the fun of it.
After 5
is
minutes,
that
they
what
weren't
the fuck?
shorts.
yikes.
Brain
I
bleach.
need to go back to therapy.
Yes, brain bleach.
Mike, do you have any other
Brain
questions?
bleach.
No, we pretty much got it all. Minnie, no talking about taco. If there's a season 2, please.
Or cookies?
Gross. No, I'm good.
Keighla, any other questions?
Yeah. If people could go back and redo one of their characters, which would it be and why?
Death. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Mike.
Let someone else go first. All right, Minnie, go first. All over.
Amanda, actually.
Amanda Hunt?
Amanda.
The cougar?
Yeah.
Really? I thought you nailed her.
I got her, but
No pun intended.
I think I could have done a little more. Like, she wasn't quite as...
Comatose as she could have been.
She wasn't quite as self-centered as I wanted her to be. She was a little too distracted by, bodies and drugs.
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 I don't know, when she went into depth about how she was like, going after her neighbor there, I thought that was pretty self-centered.
Yeah, but I don't know if I carried it all the way through. Like, that's the thing.
Okay.
Like, I'd like to give a little more oomph to her.
Well, who knows? Maybe she'll come back.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure Amanda's not done hunting. So we'll continue on from Minnie, and then we'll go back to the beginning. So that would make Chris next.
Hi. Yes. I'm actually really happy. I guess I'd try Cass again because that was my first one out of the gate sort of thing, and I'd like to see what more I could do with him, bring to him now. But I've reduxed Sawyer, so I think I know him pretty well. I think Cass, I'd like to take out for another spin around the dance floor.
Nice.
Thor?
I think I'd do the prince.
Prince Filthy Rotten Crow?
Yeah, and just like have a better backstory and kind of come in more prepared and just sort of have it a little bit more figured out.
Sure.
Of what he was supposed to be and
Damn actors not doing their job
Yeah.
at the time. Oh, sorry, thinking of it. No, yeah, he was definitely a tough one to come up with, though. I think he was the hardest one, actually. I think out of all the characters, he was the hardest one to develop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple close ones, but
It was weird, because, on paper, he came together so easily and so nicely, but when we tried to really create his backstory and figure out who he was, it was just really tough.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, he was-
Yeah, it was hard to kind of place him
Yeah.
somewhere, right?
Yeah, we really struggled with him.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, okay, I can see that. What about you, Talon? You're going to say Roe, aren't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Would you want to try her again?
Well, she got vaporized in the blast.
Yeah.
but
let's say if we're going back in time
mm-hmm.
and she hasn't played yet.
I don't know. What would you do
I don't
differently?
know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
She's just,
Awkward.
yeah. She's like me in anxiety mode, but trying too hard. So,
Yeah.
so it's,
She came across just like that though. So well done.
She was probably one of your strongest characters.
she also yelled a lot.
Well, they all did.
The whole 2 minutes of yelling
Oh,
was
that was pretty
rather
funny.
That fight was
difficult.
glorious.
That was
Yeah.
funny.
It
That
was
was funny.
so hard.
Oh, I know. But it was so good.
What about you, Austin? Which character would you redo?
I've only got the one character, and personally, even though it hurt, I don't think I'd change him. He's got the rusty pipes, and he's rusty pipes.
Yeah. So I guess that falls on me. The character I would definitely redo would be Harry Piles, just because he was my weakest character. That was the roadkill collector.
Yeah.
I felt that he could have definitely been a lot better. He just came out so weak and flat for me. I was really disappointed, and it was like if I could have erased him altogether, I would have. So I
Yeah,
would
we all have one of
definitely.
those.
I would definitely redo him.
All right, I have two. My first one that I never want to do again is Pat his cock. So if I could actually go back and redo him, I probably would. But
So I hear what you want to bring him back.
I don't. If you want funding, no. The second one I think would be Cletus.
You'd want to redo him.
Yeah.
Why?
And just get him more out there and annoying and funny. 11 it.
11 it. Yep.
Just grow up
11 it.
more.
He was
The term
about
11 it,
nine-ish.
by the way, means that when I felt that the acting could be more eccentric or more out there, we would use the term 11 it to really try to push it. So,
Chris's fault.
Chris's
Yep.
fault.
Totally.
Just like Southern Belle. Kayla, what about you?
Toss up between Madame Beaver and Karen. However much I don't like the character of Karen, knowing what I do now and having better processes in place to develop characters, I'd be interested to go back and see if I could make her more annoying, make her more funny, make her more outrageous.
I don't know, you had us all in stitches when you talked about his big wad. I remember that.
And similar with Madame Beaver, again, because they were my two first characters. I'd like to see if I could do more with them if I were to go back. I'm not interested in replaying Karen ever. But, you know,
That would be a hard one.
yeah.
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 Well, Karen, yeah.
You can't make her funny.
No, you just have to make people hate her and want her to suffer.
And that's where the funny is. She
Yeah.
becomes the
Yeah, but
The
nobody
punching
wants
bag.
to watch a bitch.
And that's why we did the spy cam where we killed her, but
That's
we
right.
tried to do it in kind of a funny way, right? Where
Mhm.
you know, and that worked. I
Mhm.
think honestly that worked. So you know. All right. Did you have any other questions, Keighla?
Nope.
No. Minnie.
I had one for you. Nope, wrong. I asked that one differently.
Well, screw you too.
No, out of all the character names, what's your favorite? Just the name, not the character.
Mine or all of us?
All of us.
Oh.
That's kind of tricky because.
They're all his favorites.
Well, no, like a lot of the names suit the characters,
Mhm.
right? So it's kind of hard to really
So which
narrow
one do you
that
find the
down.
funniest?
Well, Will Fondle was pretty
Yeah.
funny for the secret agent,
That
Yeah.
ranks pretty high for me too.
right? I also did like Rich Bilker. I thought that was a good one for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thief, the sleazy slumlord.
I don't know. You could go through a bunch of a list like Radiates and Crispy Souls like that.
And
Funny
El
stuff.
Placebo.
Yeah.
El Placebo.
Marion Monet.
Once
Marion
they find
Monet.
me,
Heavenly
they might have the
Buttrick.
Mandalay
Meh.
sisters.
Or
Oh,
Maya
yes.
Buttrick. So.
Yeah.
Officer
Oh,
Neil
and then
and
all the
Bowman.
Mandalays.
The Mandalays, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the names really. I don't
It
know.
is.
They all suit the characters really.
As creepy as that is.
Except for the Boutrex twins.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Minnie?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Chris.
That's all I had.
Actually, Mike, I was curious. As Death, was there any character that you had to stop yourself from reaching out and touching?
And he doesn't mean in a sexual way.
No.
Yeah, not in a sexual
No,
way.
just Death's power is to touch someone and they die. So I just wonder if you had to resist.
Yeah, it would have been you as Crispy Souls.
Okay.
When you decided to burp in my face.
Oh, and then blow it.
And then blow it my way.
Well, I was in character.
Oh, and then when you did your really high-pitched gay squeal. Holy crap. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, that had you laughing the whole time. I had to replace that footage because you were busy shaking your shoulder.
You're like, are you laughing under there?
yeah.
I was loving that interaction.
Well, and
So
you got
it
me
was
really
nice.
good too when you when I was playing Will Fondle and you were doing Death and you were supposed to sniff my fingers, but then you started going like this, and all I could see was this cape just shaking back and forth over my fingers, and you made me lose it. I was gone. That was one of the really hearty belly laughs I had from that.
Death is evolving. That's all I have to say.
Yep, and that's it for me.
He's coming alive.
Okay, and no more questions.
Nope.
Thor,
No, I faked the last one.
Talon,
Nice.
Austin, anymore?
I'm
No.
good.
All right, kids.
Okay, well then, I guess we will wrap it up quickly with just a quick, one-sentence statement or so. Mike, describe death.
Oh my God.
How do you feel about death?
That's a
How do I
deep
feel about
question.
death, or
That's a very
Describe
deep
Philosophical.
or describe death? Like, how would you like this done?
spoken word,
So
interpretive
much.
dance.
Interpretive dance.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
How do I?
how do you
see him?
feel? How do you feel about death? Like, what?
I feel sad for him
Okay.
because he's a lonely guy, and some bitch killed the love of his life.
You killed the love of
Yeah,
your
you
life.
killed. You killed.
No, technically,
Technically, you killed the love of your life.
With the assistance of the
we don't,
assistant.
we don't know that.
You killed. You killed.
Okay.
Your girlfriend.
yeah.
Did he kill
Well, you're
her?
not announced girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel sad for him, and I can't wait for him to get big and strong.
And what about you? Describe Maya
Describe Maya.
from your perspective.
Whew. Driven. Very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
much,
Nice.
very much
Goal oriented.
stuck in her own world and vision of how things should be.
Okay, and on that same note, describe Heavenly.
Dead.
Tragic figure.
Skull and bones with nice nails.
She's upstairs right now in her dining room.
Yeah, Definitely.
Well, because she. I mean, it comes out that she loves death too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Tragic.
Weepy.
Tragic story.
Short.
Well, and she's the complete opposite. She's actually very smart.
Yes.
Even though you can't see her face, which
Yeah.
kind of makes you wonder, but she's actually the smart.
She's smart and kind and got the short end of the stick.
From her jealous twin
The
sister.
shitty end
Yep.
of the stick.
Yep.
What about Crispy? Describe Crispy.
Oh, Crispy. Eternally cavorting. Just sadistic and gleeful.
I said describe Crispy.
Oh, sorry, red.
With a six-pack.
With a six-pack.
With a painted on
Yeah.
six-pack.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I just love his eternal delight in tormenting death. So.
Well, and that's the one thing I like about them is that like, you love to push Death's buttons,
Mhm.
right? Because you know he can't do anything to you, right? So you really like to antagonize him.
Mhm.
What about the princess? Princess Nita Mandalay.
Oh,
Her ball.
she's a hot mess. Like,
Yes.
she's a totally lost little girl who's so fucking broken, but she actually knows what she wants. She just has no clue how to get it.
Again, we're supposed to be talking about the character. No.
The hottest and messiest.
Yeah, she really is.
Officer Neil and Blomy.
Boy.
He's hot. He's really hot.
A dumbass.
Yeah, his statements are pretty off. Yeah.
Does he think he's a cop?
Yeah, he does.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, he's a crooked stripper cop,
Yeah,
right?
there
So,
we go.
I mean, he was dancing him off when when he was arresting him.
yeah, he's not the smartest.
I think he's a wannabe.
No.
It's not very good.
You don't
at
think he's a
handcuffing.
wannabe cop?
No.
Should take some lessons.
He thinks he's a cop,
Well, that's,
think he
that's
could
but
afford
he's
it.
not a wannabe.
Huh?
Yeah. He's too hot to be a wannabe.
Sawyer killing.
Oh, a Southern Belle. Just deluded, heavily deluded in believing that not only is he a firstborn male line descendant of Bubba, but also the most desirable, the most convincing, the most magnetic personality there is. Like, he's just deluded on every single level, but he's so committed to it. That's what makes him fun.
The commitment is really all there is.
Well, and he's so innocent about it. Like, he doesn't realize. But I mean, that's like the case for a lot of these characters too, right? Like,
Well,
they're so
none of them
screwed up,
are
but-
villains in their own head
No.
except for Nick Devane. So,
That's fair.
really, out of everybody, the only person who truly believes themselves as evil, maybe Crispy and Nick Devane.
And then I'm supposed to describe Demonic. That's a tough one. I mean, we don't really see him. We get
Isn't he
we,
red
we,
too?
we allude to his no, he's blue. We allude to his presence for most of the season, but he doesn't actually appear until the two-parter. But he's also driven, I guess. He's driven to birth the overlord that's going to overthrow Crispy, right? So it's funny watching him jump from person to person to create that bloodbath that's going to eventually lead to, him trying to get his wish by creating that demon baby. But and then the last recurring character I'm supposed to bring up is Candy with an I, the lovely trashy hooker.
Describe Candy with an eye to us, AJ.
Well, she's very uninhibited.
That's one
I
word.
never noticed that.
Very shy.
Yeah.
She is the dumpster fire.
We got hot mess down there and then dumpster
Dumpster fire down here. Yeah, I think Candy is oblivious to the fact that what she says and does is wrong. Like I mean, from the very first scene where we see her, where she's like sitting there with her cigarette, going like, so where's this director I'm supposed to blow to get onto the show, right? Like, she doesn't realize that her statements are just wrong, right? She just feels
Because it's Candy.
Yeah. She has no filter.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's her
None.
environment.
Absolutely none.
Not
you
even
know.
on her cigarettes.
No, I think she's innocent, or at least that's how I kind of portray her, is just completely oblivious to the fact that the things that come out of her mouth, the thing that she does,
Goes into her mouth.
is is just is wrong, right? But she just doesn't realize it is, and I think that's the best way to describe her. So.
I would describe her as well used.
Rode hard and put away wet.
So, well, if there's no more questions from anybody, any last thoughts, anything? Then I guess we will wrap it up. So again, I'm AJ. I'm the creator, writer, director, and executive producer of Carbon Dating. This is
Mike, assistant director.
Keighla, actress of all characters, somewhat.
Minni D'bomme, script supervisor and actress.
Christopher Thrall, second unit director, and several actors.
Thor Wildman,
Something.
space taker upper.
doorstop extraordinaire.
Chair filler.
Talon Vexx, I am kidnapped. Help me.
Austin Strasbourg, and I was Rusty Pipes.
And we hope to see you again for season 2. Take care. Bye.